It seems patently obvious that, there's a better chance of J Mike being motivated to create life than there is that I win 1 billion lotteries in a row.
So speaking of that, Jared, your mic is terrible, bro.
Jared, you sound like a fly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying God didn't have to make us. He really didn't have to do that, but he chose to. So here we are.
That's true. J Mike.
Substantive argument.
I think Amdir's disagreeing with you.
No, J Mike.
I think that's one of the possible worlds that God could have desired to create or not create.
All right.
Are there two J mics on my screen? Or am I?
So
my objection. My objection still. Hold on, wait.
Hold on, real quick. M-Jake's saying something. What's up, M-Jake?
Yo, did you watch Adelstein versus Detroiter?
I did not. I didn't even know that happened, to be honest.
On fine-tuning. I was gonna ask your opinion on it. Okay. Yeah,
maybe I saw something on YouTube, but it doesn't sound familiar at the moment. Maybe I did see the thumbnail or something for a video. I don't know.
No, it's unlisted. It's not out yet. It's for like.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it doesn't sound like maybe. I was gonna say maybe someone mentioned it. I don't know. I'm horrible with memory.
All right, never mind.
No, but yeah, send me if you have it on, if it's unlisted or you have the link, please send it to me because I'm gonna
I can. I'd have to ask the person who sent it to me, but I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah.
Okay.
I'm back. So you're saying that God's desires is going to be more probable than a universe that's life permitting, and I don't see how you're assessing the probability or even giving a Bayesian analysis. Can you give me the Bayesian analysis and the priors of each one of those factors?
He said that he didn't have.
Huh?
What
He already said
Bayesian
that
analysis for the fine tuning for the universe itself, not for.
Well, I'm not sure that you know what a Bayes analysis is. I don't think it'd be very productive for me to give one.
Okay, I can tell you what a
Speaking
Bayesian
big
analysis
terms,
is, right?
I don't know what they are.
Yeah, I got you. The Bayesian analysis would be like, for example.
The other thing is, I gave Luke Barnes' version.
I promise you, I know what a Bayesian
Luke
analysis is.
Barnes' version of the fine-tuning argument is an argument that's just using the likelihood ratio. It's not, assigning priors or anything like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
AR,
he was already pretty specific about that. I thought when he was talking about.
Wait, he's pretty specific. Hold on. He's saying that these laws are narrow ranged, right? That in such a way that is life permitting. He's saying that it's not. I don't understand how he's getting these numbers, saying that there's only like within this narrow range that we can.
I think you're not understanding. I don't think you're understanding what he's saying though, because he is not deploying like priors and numbers and stuff like that.
No. Okay, I understand what he's saying. He's saying there's 20 laws, right?
Roughly 20.
Okay, roughly 20. It doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter the number, right? He's saying that there's a certain amount of laws, right? And all of these laws has a constant, and this constant has a narrow range by which is life permitting, right? And that if any one of these numbers were out of that range, then the universe wouldn't be life. That wouldn't have life. Correct? Am I?
I didn't say. Well, I mean, just to be precise, I didn't say there's 20 laws. I said the best physical theories are such that there's roughly 20 constants that fall within a narrow life permitting range.
Yeah. There are 20 laws that have these type of constants that are very narrow. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, never mind. That's fine.
Huh?
Yeah, that's close.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying, right? So I understand, and I know, hold on, and I know Bayes' theorem as well. Like I'm a statistician. Like I understand what I'm talking about, right?
Really?
Yeah, I'm a statistician. Like I understand PDFs, CDFs. I understand PDFs, CDF, binomial distributions, weird, exponential.
So, host, what's your overall point?
Hey, bro, I'm a statistician. I know pi squared. You're really convincing me.
I said chi-squared. I said chi-squared.
Pi squared. Okay. Well, look, I didn't make an argument. Like I didn't give a Bayesian case where I assign priors.
I know, but you're saying it's more probable, right? Like
I'm arguing is that fine tuning confirms theism. So all I'm arguing for, I'm not arguing that the posterior theism exceeds naturalism. I'm just saying that fine tuning is more probable than theism. I don't need to assign priors in order to make that case.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, all right, that's fine, right? So we have these narrow ranges of constants, right? And you're saying that this is the only way, right? You're saying this is the only way that we could have a life-permitting universe is that all of these laws were all of these laws, all of these constants were within this narrow range, correct?
I said, well, what I said is in situations or possible worlds with law structures like ours, our best physical theories say there's about 20 constants that fall within a small life-running range, and insofar as that gives us reason to think whatever the idealized physical theories are, then there's some inference to our current best theories to the idealized theories. So, but yeah, and from those, the possibility space of worlds with law structures like ours to the possibility space in general.
Yeah, but okay, so like, what makes it that God would create? Do you believe that God could have created? Here's the thing, right? Because when you're saying
God could have created worlds without life. God could have created worlds with different law. I'm granting all that. All I'm saying is that it's not inconceivable that a rational being would have reasons to create agents like us, and it is unreasonable to say that there's a constant with a 1 in a Google, chance of being a life-threatening range in an unguided process.
I think it's one.
I think what he's saying, his entire point is that this entire universe and life and all that stuff didn't happen by
know what he's saying,
random
guys.
processes or chance.
I promise you, I know what he's saying.
Hold on,
bro.
no, listen to Jared. Jared understands the argument.
Yeah, Jared.
Yeah, he's saying none of this stuff happened by random chance.
I promise you, I understand what he's saying.
AR, hold on, AR.
You're being extremely
Jared is a statistician, bro.
You're being extremely rude to Jared.
Statistician, he understands
AR has full comprehension of the argument.
Guys. All right, go ahead. I'm just saying,
hold on. You're being extremely rude to Jared right now. He has full comprehension of the argument. So just go ahead, Jared. Sorry.
Go ahead.
All right, well, what he is really saying, just to top it all off, he's saying that there's no way in the world any of this stuff can come about by random chances.
That's not what he's saying.
Or
That's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I didn't finish.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, Jared.
I didn't finish. Like, none of the stuff came by random chances. And also is that since everything is completely fine-tuned, if any of that stuff were just to go off by just even the smallest of an inch, the entire universe will unravel. And since all this stuff around us is put in orderly design, and there are laws that the universe follows, that requires a lawgiver, and the person who it is outside of time, space, and matter.
Jared, you turned into a fly, Jared. Come back.
I'm sorry. I'm saying is that since the universe operates by laws, and since there are laws that the universe follows, then that requires a lawgiver, and the one who's the lawgiver must have a rational mind, must be intelligent, must also be powerful, all knowing, and must also be everlasting, because he operates outside of space and time and matter, and that's what we consider God. But if you were to exclude him from all of that,
good job. You condensed Amdir's point so well.
Amdir, that was a pretty good steel man, right?
yeah, if you exclude God from that, then how did anything even come to be in the first place? That's just brain dead.
No, AR, what do you mean no? That's exactly what Amdir said. Did you not hear him constantly say that he's not saying any of this and he's just saying it's a little bit more probable?
He didn't say that. That's not what he said. He said it's impossible. He said,
I know. That's not what Amdir said.
Amdir
said that it was just more probable.
He never even once said the word impossible in this conversation.
He said there's no way that this... Hold on. What do you think it means when somebody said there's no way...
That's not what Amdir said. That's what Jared said. We're getting confused here. Jared said it was
Jared said that.
Amdir saying that it's a little bit more probable on theism than atheism.
Yeah, I'm saying that Jared said that, not that Amdir said that.
Okay, cool.
That's true. So then that is actually what Amdir said.
No, that's not what Amdir said.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jared said. Wait, hold on, AR. Are you going against Jared, the statistician?
No, why are you guys gaslighting me, bro?
I love it.
Jared has a...
Why are you guys gaslighting me? Like, y'all really doing this on purpose.
Look, it's called a rib. I don't know if you're familiar with the wrestling culture, but it's called a rib. Just ribbing.
Yeah, why are you guys ribbing me? The fuck, yeah, bro. Like, I knew. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are y'all saying right now?
Amdir, I am curious. Like, I'm more curious on how exactly this notion of like a greiter probability, even if it's slight, of under theism.
No, it's literally not right. Like, it's literally not.
No, we've already spoke to this. I'm wondering what he's saying. I haven't been here.
Go ahead.
Amdir.
No, Monkey. But we're not saying that Jared. Yeah, Jared is confused. Yes, Jared's confused because Jared is saying that there's no way life could come about through chance, and I'm like, yes, there is. There's still a chance. Right? Like, this idea that
how are you gonna get life
no,
from
I want to
God?
talk to Amdir. Sorry, Jared.
I love God. I just wish the people on the panel would come to God.
That's real.
yo, guys, like you guys are all like gaslighting the shit out of me, and I hate y'all for that, bro.
I want to talk to Amdir. How is how are we dishing out the notion that theism is going to explain this better than atheism, or it's more probable under theism?
Go ahead, G.
Okay. I mean, there's a few versions of theism, so okay, I'll just go with a few of the more simple ones. So you have the theory A, there's a supreme being. Theory B, there's a perfect being. Theory C, there's a being that doesn't lack anything. Okay. I mean, you can also get into the slightly more complicated ones, like you can just stipulate as part of the theory it has the omni properties. But okay, the point is that there's a way to get at least some prediction for life readiness on any of these views. For example, on the perfect being view, no matter what it means to be perfect, we don't have to have an analysis of perfect. Minimally, what it means is that if you're perfect, you do what's good. It's good for moral. It's good for moral agents to exist. It's good for beings like us to exist. So it's at least a little bit. It's not unsurprising that a being that does things that are good would bring about a good state of affairs. So
yeah,
that's a weak ass argument. The other one is better than that.
Hold on. I get what he's saying. He's just saying that like of course some omnibenevolent or some benevolent or some perfect being is going to want to do the best course of actions. But I'm wondering if there is some sort. You agree that like there could be other constants, right? That could have been life permitting logically.
What? I don't know what you're asking.
It's feasible, or at least logically possible, that there would be other constants that would be life permitting.
Are you talking about constants which aren't currently part of our best physical theories?
Yes, like I'm just saying those nomological laws could have been different, and they still could have conduced to life, right? Given any set of nomological laws.
I don't know if there are other. I don't know if there are other metaphysically possible law structures.
But you agree that there are, like, you don't think there's any other possible nomological set of laws that could have been conducive to life?
But I don't know if there's other. I don't know if there's other metaphysically possible law structures. Trivially, there's no other nomenologically possible law structures other than what belongs in the idealized physical theory.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, given that, like, any sort of God, being, deity, whatever, right? So, like, if he's aligned with these desires to create or be conducive to life, he'll. Are you one to give omni properties to God, or are you not?
Some of the theories that I gave had the omni properties as part of their content. Some didn't. Some entailed the omni properties, but it's not included in the content of the theory. I mean, but
yeah. Well, but which one do you? Amdir is just saying that he just thinks that this is sufficient enough, right? Like the other commitments are what is going to unravel the argument, right? But if he's
not giving like the other properties. Right?
Yeah, he's not giving the other.
I know.
I think it's fine, honestly. I don't see like. I guess if there's some.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, well,
the thing
is, the problem with the fine tuning whenever there's omni properties involved is because there's other like logical possibilities that are enabled by the omni properties, right? And then it's going to be infinite amount of logical possibilities that can be instantiated by some sort of omnipotent being, right? That could lead to the same kind of life, maybe not the same exact type of life, the life that's moral, and then it's just going to unravel because of the actual probabilities of any given life conducing, sort of set of nomological laws being zero across. I mean, the same thing's going to go for atheism, so it just reduces them all to zero, and then it just equally is likely across both, right? But he's not committing to that. He's just saying, look, it could be the case that there is some simple deity who just wanted it, right? And that's going to be, better explained. How is it?
He's saying it's more likely under theism, bro.
They also don't think. I don't think that that's right. That the argument falls apart if you do add in the omni properties. I think it works just the same way if you add in the omni properties. Whether you have an infinite or infinitely divisible number of possible configurations of the constants doesn't mean that there's, and even if individual values on theism have a probability of zero, it doesn't mean that the probability over certain ranges isn't greater than the probability over those ranges on non-theism.
Do you have
In the
a
beginning,
He's saying that life is guaranteed. He's
do you
here's the problem, right? Like because I made an argument like this too, where like I would say, like, for example, given all possible universes that we can have, if it was just random, there would be a case that there were some universes that are not life permitting when some universes are, and then with God, you're guaranteed life. But I just don't, right? And the flaw with the argument is that you're not guaranteed life, given that you have some sort of agent. Some agent just would not have a desire to create.
can I say something now?
The argument. Wait, hold on.
Not what he's saying.
The problem with the argument would be a bad argument if theism entailed life permittingness, because the concept then that would already be the probability of life permittingness would already be baked into the theory. That's exactly what you don't want to do. It's a feature of the view that it makes it more probable and doesn't entail it.
Wait, what do you mean that the feature of the view doesn't entail what? I'm not understanding that part. What?
Life permittingness.
Wait, you saying that we don't need when you talk about these laws? Are you saying that these laws?
AR, he's saying that like theism, classical theism, any notion, deism, whatever the fuck, like any supreme being, right? Like it's not, if it's baked into the notion that the supreme being is going to instantiate life, and it's not feasible that it couldn't have, like it's just baked into the idea, then it's not a strong argument. But if it's just,
I understand that.
Just
And the reason why it wouldn't be a strong argument in that case is because whatever the probability is that there is a life permitting universe, that's just going to factor into the prior probability of that view of theism. So that's why you don't want to do something like that.
do you have a justification for
no matter which universe you could.
Jared? You sound so far
But Jared, we don't hear
Oh, sorry. I was saying,
you at all.
no matter which universe you can theoretically come up with, or if there is a universe that didn't have life in it, no matter what it is, that still requires an intelligent mind to design that universe.
That's just
Even if that universe didn't have life in it,
That's not what
the life that made it is still
That's not what Amdir
required.
is saying.
I'm just
No,
gonna
I'm saying
That's
just
not what
theoretically, no
Amdir
matter
is
which
saying.
That's not Jared.
No,
You
I'm
and
not talking about
Jared.
Jared.
No.
Jared, you and Amdir.
I'm not talking about him.
completely. Yeah, hold on. Look, what you and Amdir are saying are two completely different things, right? Amdir is saying that it is feasible that these things could have come about without some sort of intelligent design, right? But he's saying it's more feasible that life exists under the intelligent design sort of argument, right? That's all he's saying. He's not saying that it's it's not saying it's impossible, right? He would never say that. That's what you're saying, and I don't know why you're attributing it to Amdir. Now, I don't even know how you would dish out this notion that it is logically impossible or nomologically impossible that these things could have come about without an intelligent designer. I don't even know what the argument would be there. I don't know how what's the contradiction, unless you're baking in, again, like this is the issue, right? Like with Amdir, what Amdir is saying is that if the notion that life is only conducive under this, or life is only going to be enabled under this, or it's entailed under this view, then it makes the argument weaker, right? But if he's just saying that this view is going to make it more probable, then it makes the argument a little bit stronger, right? That's all he's saying.
So I want to
All
ask
right.
a question.
Okay. What I was saying, what I was trying to say was that.
Guys,
Well, you go ahead. You go ahead, Lord. If you want to speak, since you haven't had a chance.
Yeah, so I'm there. Is there a way you're justifying, like, assuming that the other cosmological values would be evenly distributed?
What?
Do you have a way to justify evenly distributing the probability of the other cosmological value?
Well, okay, a few things. One, there's not any reason that's entailed by our best physical theories why they wouldn't be evenly distributed. And two, even if they aren't evenly distributed, it's still the case that the range is very narrow, even if you make it slightly less narrow by adjusting the probability distributions. All you're doing is improving on one in a Google, which is...
Amdir, no. One in a Google doesn't make sense, right?
Not
Hold on,
the
wait.
question.
That doesn't make any sense. No, wait, hold on, Jared. I'm going to tell you why this doesn't make any sense. Do you agree there's an infinite amount of possible universes that are life permitting in this model?
No, I'm not granting that there's an infinite amount. I mean, there might be an infinite amount, but you can, in order to make the probability calculations easier, you can constrain it to some finite value.
There's not a finite value. No. That actually makes a lot. This is important, right? Because infinite, there's cardinalities of infinities. There are definitely bigger infinities. I agree.
Wow, really?
Right? Hold on. There are bigger infinities. I agree, right? But these are under the real numbers, right? So both infinities are going to have the notion of real numbers. So they'll be the same size infinities. Like for example, when we're talking, when we're talking about real numbers.
This is wrong.
Yeah, hold on. When we're talking, yes, no, it's not wrong. Like for example, there's a smaller infinity when it comes to natural numbers, correct? But when it comes to real numbers, under real numbers, if there's a certain amount of real numbers, no matter what it is an infinite amount of real numbers, that's going to be the same infinity as another set of real numbers. Now, when it comes to these sets, right? Like for example, any real number between 1 and 2 is going to be an uncountably infinite amount of numbers. Okay. And now when we talk about these nomological laws and we talk about the constants that within these nomological laws, we have an infinite amount of real numbers that we can choose from, and it'll still be within the range. Okay, that means that there's 1 over infinity chance to get any possible universe, and there'll be also a 1 in infinite amount of chance to get a life-permitting universe. It's not any different under the God hypothesis as it would be with no God.
Here, let me.
This is the most confused fucking yap session that I've ever heard before. Okay, first of all, I don't think most physicists believe that you can just literally have any real numbers for these values. At least you can constrain the smallest divisible unit by something like a Planck value or something along those lines. Second of all,
say it again.
Just because you have two infinites have the same cardinality doesn't mean that the probability of picking a number out of one infinite is the same as picking out of another infinite. Otherwise, you're going to undercut most plausible solutions to Boltzmann brain problems if you do that. Third of all, if we do make it infinite, I mean, that's also only going to make it more improbable. I mean, on naturalism, if there's an infinite amount of life-permitting universes.
No, they're both. No, there's an infinite amount of life-permitting universes and an infinite amount of non-life-permitting universes. There's no difference.
Two.
Huh?
Doesn't mean that the probability of picking a value out of either infinite is the same. Just because they have the same cardinality, it doesn't follow.
No, I'm saying that. Okay, so do you realize, like, for example, there's as many real numbers between 1 and 0, between 0 and 1, as between 1 and infinity. Or do you not agree?
No, hold on. Okay, that's true, but that when you say just as many, you're talking about the cardinality. It doesn't therefore follow that if you have one hat, or if you pick a number out of a hat, it has the same probability, or pick a real number out of a hat, that it has the same probability of being between 0 and 1 as it does between 1 and infinity. It doesn't follow that probability distribution over those infinite values is the same.
Yeah, you have to give me an argument for that, right? Because when I'm seeing like these type of infinities, right, and I'm seeing that we could always match whatever number that you could think of between 0 and 1. You could always match it up with some other number between 1 and infinity. You could always match.
Are you saying that like
have the same cardinality in different terms? What you just did is you just said, oh, they have a bijection between each other. Yeah, good fucking job. I know that they're the same cardinality, but that doesn't address what I said, which is that just because they have the same cardinality, it doesn't therefore follow the probability distribution over those intervals is the same.
Yeah, the probability distribution over those intervals would mean like you have to like have some sort of like when we're talking about like continuous distributions, right? There still has to be some finite. I don't even know how to even describe this thing, man. Because I see what you're saying, right? Like there could be some bigger infinity, but I don't see how this one infinity is bigger than another. That's what I'm saying.
Anything about bigger infinities in terms of cardinality? All I'm saying is that it doesn't follow that they're have the same cardinality, that the probability distributions are the same.
Okay, but how are you assessing the probability distributions? Like, what kind of are these uniform? Are these uniform probability distributions? Are these uniform? Are these normal distribution? What is it?
Well, that's not addressing what I'm saying. You're just asking me questions.
No, like I'm asking, how are you assessing? How are you assessing these probabilities such that you're getting a larger distribution, a larger probability for the God hypothesis, or at least life-permitting universes over non-life-permitting universes?
Check. I think you could use a normal distribution and get that result.
Normal distribution? How? There's no average or a standard deviation that you can go by And it doesn't. It doesn't.
I can find you how what's his name does it. Maybe Njike remembers what Luke Barnes what he does, but
if you do that,
this whole thing is irrelevant because it's just completely obvious that what you're saying, isn't interacting. Also, here's like another reason to think that's false. Let's suppose X hypothesi or whatever that the probability distribution of any set with the cardinality real numbers is the same. Well, then you have skeptical problem with Boltzmann brains because the most commonly accepted solutions for Boltzmann brains problems are that you have a smaller likelihood of being a Boltzmann brain than you do being in a part of the universe that has low entropy or something like that. I'd have to check, but if the point is that both the amount of where you just a low entropy portion of the universe, they're both infinite. So if you say that they both have the same probability, you undercut the solution to that skeptical problem.
Okay, so I just want to repeat the question I asked. I don't know if maybe misunderstood. I just didn't understand your answer right. So the question I'm asking is, for example, if you...
No, Zach, why'd you kick him, Zach? He was asking. He was probably going to clarify whatever I was about to ask.
Would you assume that was me, dumb fuck?
So the question I'm asking is, for example, if you...
No, Zach, why'd you kick him, Zach? He was asking. He was probably going to clarify whatever I was about to ask.
Would you assume that was me, dumb fuck? I'm over here touching grass and shit, and you're over here assuming I'm being a dickhead.
No, that was Zach. That was Zach.
Given the probability,
that was Zach.
I'm just kidding.
No, Zach, why'd you kick him, Zach? He was asking. He was probably going to clarify whatever I was about to ask.
Would you assume that was me, dumb fuck? I'm over here touching grass.
If you think super theory is true, brain having some experience, and if the universe is finite, there's infinite, and there's infinitely many black holes, then even though it's extremely small finite probability that happens, brains which are being pooped out by black holes having certain experiences. And then the skeptical problem is, how do we reason that we aren't one of those brains that is having an experience of, having this conversation right now or something?
I see what you're saying. You're saying that there's going to be more probable, right? Given an area under a curve, if you integrate the curve, right, you're going to be like, okay, this is going to be a certain amount of area that's being covered that doesn't where this doesn't happen versus the small area under the curve where it does happen.
Right,
is
like
that what you're saying?
There's more parts of
under the PDF
that have low enough entropy to support life than there are areas where the exact combination of physical matter to form a brain having a thought.
Yeah, that's given a certain PDF or a certain probability distribution function, correct?
Right, and I'm saying you can think about the probability distribution similarly when looking at values of the constants, that just because they're both infinite doesn't mean they're both equally probable.
Yeah, no, I understand that, right? Like, for example, like a normal distribution, if I can agree with like a normal distribution, because normal distributions can have a left tail and a right tail that go off infinitely, but the only issue that I have with the uniform distribution of it is because the uniform distribution doesn't taper off, right? But whereas the normal distribution does taper off, so you do kind of get like this this nice curve that infinitely gets smaller and smaller over time, where you kind of like where it does taper off into one, where it does it converges into one with a sum of infinite. Even if it's infinitely tailing off, it's infinitely smaller as you get farther from the mean. Okay, those tails get farther from the mean, it gets infinitely smaller. So that's why it works out. But when it comes to uniform distributions, it's not getting smaller, so it doesn't converge to one. You know what I'm saying?
point, AR.
Yeah, I found the.
No,
I found,
I'm seeing that MD understands what I'm saying. 'Cause I know MD is a mathematician, so he understands what I'm saying.
well, yeah,
MD,
Yeah, I know you guys are kind of going back and forth with the words.
hold on,
so
Jared, man. Hold on,
I found the way.
MD,
So
you hear what I'm saying?
here, this is what Barnes has to say about it. I'll just tell you because he formulates this argument that I'm using. So what Barnes has to say about it is. The two conditions for the normalizability problem, infinite range and flat distribution, are not forced on us for the fundamental constants of nature. Dimensional parameters are bound by the Planck scale. They cannot vary over an infinite range. This restriction comes from the standard model themselves, which are taken as given when we calculate the likelihood in the context of the question. This restriction does not postulate that some principle of logical or metaphysical possibility applies to these quantities, but it's a consequence of the fact that their status as fundamental constants is bestowed by the standard models, and those models are only mathematically well defined within the Planck limits. Similarly, we're not forced to attempt to place a flat distribution on dimensionless parameters. It's not unreasonable to place a higher expectation on order unity values, which allows us to choose from a range of normalizable distributions. As a worst case scenario, we could simply abandon cases of fine-tuning based on dimensionless parameters, and our estimate of the probability of universe giving life-remainedness on non-design is still the same.
I agree. You can't go up infinitely even to the left, right? Because there is going to be some Planck size that you just can't get smaller. So it's not going to tail off into the left portion. That wouldn't be a normal distribution, though, right? Because if you're talking about the Planck scale, that means there is a definitive smallest point. I'm trying to see what the x-axis is, like what kind of numbers are on the x-axis here. We're talking about.
I can't recite the math or the physics off the top of my head, but you can look at Luke Barnes' paper, The Little Question, and he goes over it there.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that because I'm intrigued by like the statistics behind this. Because if I can get a normal distribution, because I'm very well versed with like the normal distribution. I love the normal distribution. It makes things a lot easier. And usually the probability distributions when they get so large scale, they become normalized. It just happens with statistics, which I love. It's great because then all you need is a standard deviation and you need the mean, and then from there you could literally know like where the one standard deviation point is because of the 68, 95, 99 rule, right? So that makes it a lot easier for me to just like calculate probability. I'm gonna look into that definitely. That makes it a lot easier for me.
Yeah, so the normal distribution stuff, I think that was sort of where my question was going to go to, because I'm assuming if they're making some like inference on the likelihood of, let's say, the different constants, right? They are making some assumptions on how likely it is to have those constants. Now, they could make an assumption that it's even for the different other possible constants. Humans. Right, not necessarily that the ones that's life permitting is the same as the other ones, but I mean, for example, let's assume a particular constant being 2 is the same as the likelihood for a constant being 3, right? And then they find like the probability for it's random, right, for it to be a particular number. So I'm assuming number. So I'm assuming.
Hold on, let me type this down. The person's name. What's his name again? Type it down so that I could actually have it.
Clarifying question. Are you a statistician? You didn't make it clear enough.
I need a win.
Yeah. I didn't make it clear enough when I was talking about normal distributions and the standard deviation.
Hold on. Every time someone questions your math, you're like, no, listen.
Question for AR.
Bro,
AR, which one makes more sense to you?
I love.
No, so I got a question.
Go ahead.
What makes more sense? In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, or in the beginning, nothing created the heaven and the earth?
That's not what any.
That's not what happened. This is first of all.
None of us hold to that.
That's
Jared.
not what happened, right? This is
You're like way out of your depth here, buddy.
Guys. Hold on. hold on. So that we could talk about, right. This is given a finite universe, right? This is already given like this idea of a beginning of a universe. We don't know whether or not the universe was eternal or if it had a beginning, right? Do you agree?
Well, this doesn't have to do with this argument. Doesn't have to do with whether or not the universe is eternal or has a beginning. When it says it's constrained, it's talking about the values of the constants, not the age of the universe.
Yeah, but it's Jared. What's Jared?
No, I was talking to Jared. I know Amdir is not doing that, right? Like I know you're not doing that. I'm saying Jared is doing that. Jared is talking about
running
the fact
old.
nothing. He said nothing into something. That's what Jared said, and I was like, we don't agree with that. We don't agree that there was
Nothing. All consciousness are evil.
Yeah, I'm asking which one makes more sense to you? God creating everything, or just nothing creating everything?
Jared, we don't hold that.
Bro, again, how many times do we have to tell you that's not what it is? You're already saying that the universe had a beginning when you say that. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I'm asking which one you believe in.
Oh my God, bro! How many times did I tell you that's not the case?
He doesn't understand, Jared. Look, Jared, hold on, Jared. Bro,
Jared's so low tier. It's crazy, bro. All right,
Jared,
so hold on. Let me take a look bar real quick.
Jared, we're not saying that, right? Because you're giving us a dichotomy. We don't commit to the universe coming from nothing, right? Like AR is going to commit that the universe never had a beginning. I'm sort of agnostic on the question, right? I'm going to hold, like, I have, like, there's a plethora of views that I could hold. I'm agnostic. I don't know yet, right? I don't have enough information. AR is going to hold that the universe didn't have a beginning. It just always was. There was never a nothing. There was always a something. That's what he's going to hold to, right?
That is a good question, though.
Yeah, Jared.
But you still didn't answer.
You want me to make? Jared, you want me to make sense for you? You want me to make sense for you? I'll help you. I'll give you.
What you're saying that the universe being eternal doesn't make any sense.
I'll give you an intuition pump.
What's the purpose of it?
Jared, I can give you an intuition pump as to how the universe can be eternal, right? You believe in God?
That's not eternal.
No. I'm going to give you an intuition as to how it's feasible. Possibility.
No, it isn't. It's impossible, man.
Can you give me the
contradiction? It's been created.
Can you give me the contradiction in it?
Look, just before you go on to
because
this,
everything is falling apart.
Yeah, just before you go on to this dumbass fucking rhetoric, line of questioning, because he's clearly not going to answer. But I just heard through the damn that you're genuinely.
Wait, Cage,
what?
Is it just me or I can't hear Cage?
Yeah, he broke up.
Yeah, you're breaking up, bro.
He's got my Thanos Wi-Fi.
But yeah, can you give me the logical? Can you give me?
He's touching grass right now, guys. He's touching grass.
Yeah, I think
he's in the middle of the woods.
But yeah, Jared, can you
Cage is in the middle of the woods, touching grass, in the middle of nowhere. He don't have any service. He's not near any tower that can give him 5G or even 4G for that matter.
He's ground.
Yeah, he doesn't have any service right now.
Exactly what is that?
Yo, no wonder he don't have any service. Look at that nice
simple. It's not a God created the whole universe and everything around it.
Look at that view.
Or he did it.
Yo, I'm trying to go. The tattoos is crazy though.
I get it. Y'all ain't never seen. You've never seen a sunset.
I need to get some tats. I need to get some tats ASAP, bro.
But Jared, can you give me the PNC in an eternal universe, buddy?
All right, let me read this bullshit ass.
Falling apart, and also the fact of the matter that if the universe was eternal, what's it even have in the universe? What's the purpose of why it's even here? Where
So now we're moving on. Hold on, Jared. We're moving on. Well, Jared, we're moving on from. That's not the question I asked. I didn't ask.
That shit fine, for sure. For sure.
You're not giving me.
Yo, Chris with the phone. Shout out to Chris for following, man. I appreciate that, gang.
God created it. And also because if there is no God...
That's the very part, Jared. Jared, if I just said no, it's not possible because under my commitment, it's not going to be possible for the universe to have a creator. Does that make sense? Or is that an
argument?
Oh, Lord.
Well, hold on.
Tell me why.
I don't know what it was, but he came up with something else. Jared, he did. He just
I was saying that if the universe is eternal, then why is everything breaking down? And also, if the universe is eternal, then what's the purpose? But also, you're going to start running into the whole why the universe is how it is. You're going to run into a lot of holes with that.
Jared, when I say universe, I'm going to say it's like the set of everything, like the set of all things, energy, the set of anything that exists within the universe pertaining to it, right? So whatever has ontology is going to be within this set, right? And this set's going to be able to recycle. The same way, like, Jared, the same way when you have Play-Doh, right? Imagine an eternal piece of Play-Doh that can just is infinitely malleable, right? That's the sort of idea that I'm trying to give to you as to how this is possible. Yeah, of course, there are governing laws within the universe we find ourselves in that find it, that's leading towards some sort of heat death or something that's going to be, not be conducive to life, right? But it's possible, it's feasible. There's plenty of cyclical models, as fringe as they are, that reduce it right back to some singularity or expand it conformally with some cosmology, right? That's going to make it restart eternally, right? And it's not a logical impossibility. It's fairly plausible, right? Obviously, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what your argument is that it's not possible.
That is completely wrong, man.
Well,
okay, where else want to speak?
How so, Jared? Can you say how it's wrong?
Oh, because everything is falling apart, and there's nothing around us that we can see or even observe that's actually eternal.
Jared, did you not understand what I said?
What I said?
No,
I said there's nothing around us that's even eternal.
Jared, I get what you said, right? There's the things within the universe.
All right, nothing's eternal then. None of this stuff is forever. So the universe is not eternal.
Oh my God, Jared. Listen to what I'm saying. Yes, I agree. The constants, the way the nomological laws we have within our surroundings, right, are making it so that things are expanding. There's going to be a heat death, right? What I'm telling you is that my notion of universe is going to be the set of all things that exist, right? So even whenever this heat death comes about, right, and there's just particles, right, there's just fundamental particles floating around in the ether eternally, right, and there's nothing of consequence going on, that's still the universe, right? And what I'm telling you is that there's plenty of cyclical models, right, that hold to some big crunch, to some big bounce, to some CCC something, right, that just reinitiates it, right? Reinitiates the universe, right? In any multiple forms, right? As if, right? No, I was trying to give you an intuition pump, right? As if the universe were some Play-Doh, right? This Play-Doh is going to be the set of all things, right? The current way the Play-Doh set up, yes, eventually it's going to fall apart, right? But it's still going to be there. All the pieces of Play-Doh are still going to be there, and they can be remalleable, right, into some other form. And that's something that there's plenty of physicists who have ideas of this, right? And that's feasible. It's logically possible, as in it doesn't entail a contradiction. That's all they are saying. You're making the hard conclusion that no, did it, right? And they are saying, no, this Play-Doh has always been here. There's never been a nothing. And this Play-Doh is just infinitely malleable and becomes different forms over and over and over again, which is a thing that physicists hold, right? Because it's not a logical impossibility. I don't know how much clearer I can make it to you.
Well, why is it that human logic?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but you still got a lot of problems in that. That whole theory, there's a lot of issues in it.
Human logic.
Okay, so Jared, hold on. I want a concession now. Jared, you agree that it's possible? Now that it's
possible.
Hold on. Jared, now that it's likely, now that it's...
I just said it's impossible.
Okay, can you give me the P and P now?
You start with a small one. Where did life come from?
Oh my God, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yes, it is, because if you're talking about us going into a big heat ray and then all of a sudden everything comes back, where is all that coming from?
I get
it. Name is Jared Jones. Continue.
And with just this universe, just by itself, you still got to answer the question.
Jared, if we were talking about apples, right, and then how apples came about, right, and you asked me why do seeds exist, does that make sense?
Okay. Well, I can give you the P and not P. The P is that human logic is the foundation of everything that you're saying.
Oh, Lord. No. Not this guy again, bro. Oh my God.
Let me finish. Why is it that human hold on. Okay. Does human condition of consciousness in life depend upon certain conditions of the universe? Yes or no? It's yes.
Yeah, they're what Jones, what are you saying?
I'm saying that human consciousness is a product of particular conditions of the current state of this universe, right?
Okay, yeah, continue.
Okay. If we are talking about conditions that are vastly, completely unhospitable to human logic and human comprehension, which is the basis of your argument. Why is it that you think that human logic is going to sustain itself in perpetuity for all eternity without even human perception?
It's human logic, my nigga.
What are you even talking about, Jones? Look, hold on, Cage. No, please don't derail. Please don't derail.
Does logic does logic exist outside of human perception?
Hold on, Jones. Cage, please don't interrupt. I get it. He's a low tier, whatever. He's making stupid arguments. But I want to get to the meat of it, right? Jones, again, look. Logic, right, is not some fundamental phenomenon of the universe. Logic is a formal system we created, right, in order to understand and make valid inferences around us, right?
Yes.
So it's not the case that we are prescribing and creating a law that is being perpetuated by the universe, right?
No,
that's not the way. Hold on, Jones, let me finish it.
Right.
These laws, these nomological laws, these logical laws are things we created, are mapping onto the phenomena of the universe. These laws, of course, we're explaining and describing the relationships between matter that we observe, right? Using a mathematical system, right? A formal system, right? Mm-hmm. Logic is for inferences, math is to calculate things, right? These are things we created, right? If there was another universe, right? If there was another universe that was completely separate from it has a completely different set of nomological laws, that doesn't matter, right? Logic is not going to have to interfere with any of this. Logic is simply hold on, Jones. Hold on. Again, logic is not explaining any phenomena. It's a formal to make valid inferences, right? It's not going to be the case that because humans are not around, right, or because there is no conscious agents in some other universe that comes after us or before us, that there's going to be true contradictions or anything like that. No, that's not what we're saying, right?
Okay,
that's not what we're saying.
I'm saying that. So let me just give the argument real quick. So we can understand that our sun is currently very hospitable to Earth. You know what I mean? Is going to become a red giant at some point in time. Okay. So what I am talking about is that there is a change in reality that is going to change the very nature of consciousness, the very nature of logic, because logic is not a predication of the universe, it's a predication of consciousness. Hold on. I'm almost done. I'm sorry, I did interrupt you a little bit, but my point is simply this. How can you logically prescribe logic to an unconscious universe when the precondition for logic is the condition of consciousness? That seems to me to be a unequivocal logical failure, meaning that it is logically impossible to make the claims that you're claiming because of the fact we as human beings have no...
Okay, I get it. I'm sorry, I don't have to mute. I get it. This is just so dumb. Okay, Jones, again, right? Do you take it that if all the consciousness, right, everything that has created logic, right, that humanity, human beings with conscious agents, we're mapping on, right, a formal system into our dialectics, into our reasoning, into our rationale, in order to make valid inferences based off a set of axioms that we justify based off their utility and everything, right? If that is going to be somehow conducive, right, that if we weren't around, that these axioms are just not real, that these axioms are just going to be like flat out, there's going to be fucking squares, triangles everywhere if there were no brains. Is that what you're trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is like literally logically impossible to prove the foundation of logic without consciousness. Do you understand? You're no. Hold on.
Jones again, bro. I'm gonna have to hold on, Jones, because you're not getting what I'm saying at all, right? Jones, what is logic?
Yeah, somebody keeps muting me.
What is logic?
Logic is the structural process of human evaluation that has evaluated the world in a way that has structurally allowed for evolution.
It's a forward definition.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Like literally. Okay. Where is that wrong? Please tell me where that's wrong.
Yeah,
because
logic
we don't
is
just use logic to evaluate the world, you dumb fuck.
Logic.
Wait. How do we create language, you stupid bitch?
Yeah, that's not. You realize language.
We don't create language by talking to you.
I want to destroy his point. Jones, when was this the study of logic created?
Wait. Do you think logic was first implemented by the study or by the actual action and development of it?
Yeah, logic is a formal system that holds to a set of axioms that allow it to be true. Now, I'm asking
So you don't think humans were using logic before they understood how to declare it logic?
Yeah, because you know what a formal system is. This is like
Okay.
This is so low tier.
No. Oh, just quick
this
question.
is so unbelievably low tier, bro.
Oh no. Okay. If it's so low tier,
I can't.
You're gonna answer this easily. So when we realize a certain wood would start on fire and certain wood would not start on fire, that's not logic. When Eskimos understood good snow versus bad snow to actually build igloos, that's not a condition of logic.
Jones, do you think?
No, that's not logic to you.
Jones, do you think that logic is just rationale or just looking at two things?
No. Go ahead, answer his questions, Emmanuel. You wanted this.
No, I didn't want it. Right? I'm just giving him. I'm trying to make it intuitive for him as to what he's saying.
Do you think? Wait. Do you think logic is only the condition of like studied conditions of reality and not a natural process?
No,
human system of
Jones. I'm gonna make it as simple as possible to
you. Jones. Do you think logic? Hold on. Wait. G. I just need to ask him this question. Do you think logic is dependent on the state of affairs of the universe?
Yeah, that's what I was confused.
Do I think logic is I think logic is dependent upon the condition of human consciousness because
Okay. Wait.
Let me finish afterwards, but I'll let you go.
Jones, hold on. Please, listen. Do you think that squared circles can exist if humans didn't
I
exist?
already told them this, AR. He didn't get the intuition. He didn't get the intuition pump. He's not gonna. He doesn't understand what we're talking about.
Look at this nigga. Walking on the sand.
He doesn't understand that logic is a formal system.
Yo, I'm trying to be. Look at that view, bro.
I don't think a square circle can exist within this universe. A square circle obviously cannot exist within this universe.
Do you think
square circles can exist in any universe?
I do not think that like our experience of this universe is capable of being extorted to every possible universe. That's illogical. What condition?
Where's that at, bro?
Hold on, AR.
Where's that at?
What's the foundation to prove that?
Hold on, AR.
Why is that bird not afraid of you, bro?
Please, AR.
No.
That's your pet.
How can you prove? Liz,
AR, please
we're
let me
talking
talk
about
to
the
Jones.
basic condition of logic.
AR, let me please talk to Jones. Do not interrupt me, please.
We're talking about the basic condition of logic. How is it that you can logically prove that the logic of this universe is extendable to every potential universe?
Jones, again, look, when we're talking about making inferences, when we're talking about doing the things that logic does, it's a formal system that holds to a set of axioms, right? Now, if you're talking... Hold on.
Is it logical?
Oh, my Lord. Yes, bro, because
is it logical?
Jones, the only matter of about... Jones,
is
hold
it
on.
Logical?
AR and Jones, AR, please do not interrupt me. Jones, the only way we're going to be able to measure whether or not something is logical or illogical is going to be through logic and through the formal system and through the axioms we hold to. I don't get what you're talking about. You're not making sense. You don't understand what you're talking about.
That you find it so hilarious.
Yes, Jones.
No. I can explain it very easily. I have never experienced another universe. To say that the logic of my universe is in existence in a universe I've never experienced is illogical. Do you understand what that means? Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh my God, Jones.
No, do you understand? Do you understand what I'm fucking saying? That I cannot prescribe my logic of this universe, which I agree exists, onto a universe that I've never experienced. Why do you think that the logic of this universe is prescribable to every other universe exists? Where is the logical foundation that you use to deal with it?
Jones.
This is retarded.
Okay, do you want me to take over?
Sure, bro, but this is not. It's gonna be worse for you because you're less patient than me.
Okay, maybe I am, right? Maybe I am.
AR, please, AR, explain it to me. All
right. The laws of logic, right? The laws of logic. The truth of the matter, okay? When we're talking about, like, for example, square circles, right? Those can't exist, correct?
They can in this universe, yes, 100%.
Okay, all right. They can't exist could they exist anywhere, anytime? Could you draw? Could you draw? Could you draw a square circle?
No. But this is the thing. AR. I cannot draw anything in any other universe besides this universe. It is a logical, illogical.
No. I don't think you understand what we mean by universe, because you're making it sound like there's some other universe that we could travel to. Okay?
No.
Wait, okay. No. Jones, please. Okay. When we talk about another possible universe, we're talking about that the state of affairs. Like, for example, the Big Bang could have exploded a little bit differently. Okay.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, all right.
Logical.
There could have been. Jones.
No. AR. Let me still man. Okay. Let me still man, because this is what I think. What you're saying. When you say every possible. Hold on. Like, I mean this. Like, if we're disagreeing about what we're meaning, is going to be more difficult for us to come to a foundation of agreement or disagreement, because we're talking past each other. What I'm saying is, when I hear any possible universe, what I hear actually is any possible universe with the same standard of logic that we have in this universe.
Hold on. What do you mean same? Is that accurate? Hold on, G. You told me I could have it. G, you told me I could have it.
Let me just jump back in one more time, bro.
Oh my God, bro.
Forever, bro. You can have it. Jones, look, I grant that. Finally, you got it intuitively. The only types of worlds that are going to be possible are the worlds that are that are going to be, following or concurrent with the axioms that we hold under logic, right? And now, if you're just positing that there could be a world that doesn't follow the structure of the formal system, I don't even know what the fuck that would mean. That's not important. It doesn't matter. There's nothing.
No. It's stupid.
Jones, do not interrupt me. Let me pull out my full thought. Do not fucking interrupt me. I'm gonna kick you. Again, right? These laws of structured reasoning, right, that help us make valid inferences, right, such as logic, classical logic, or modal logic, right, they're the only things we're going to be able to pertain to, as to ascribe or define any other state of possibility. There's certain modalities to possibility. Logical possibility is going to be like the most simplest form, which is just, it's not going to entail a contradiction, right? That's going to be the simplest form of possibility. That's the simplest form of possibility. Now, if we're going to garner that there's some other type of things that could be possible that are illogical, it doesn't even make sense. It's not even feasible. There's no point of bringing it up. It's completely irrational, right? And Jones, hold on, Jones. And if you're just gonna say, well, look, we're conscious in this universe, and it makes us think that these are the way things are. That doesn't even make fucking sense. What else are you gonna say that if we structured a formal system, right, that's describing the things we see around us, right? But of course, right, logic is going to be, again, the most foundational set of possibility. It's going to be the bare necessity, right, for anything to be tangibly possible, which is, it just doesn't entail a contradiction, right? Yes. Which is one of the axioms of logic. Now, if you're saying it could be the case that there's something that could exist that's illogical, I don't even know what the fuck that would mean, okay? And again, logic has nothing to do whether if we exist or not. Square circles are not going to be.
How can you prove
square
that?
Circles? Not to prove. Square circles are not going to be the case whether or not. In Jones, if you're just going to make the fucking pedantic, just a pedantic.
No, logically prove that. No,
hold on, Jones. Okay, if you want me to logically prove that, it entails a contradiction. It's logically impossible. And now, if we're stepping outside of logic, then it's pointless. I don't want to continue the conversation. I don't even know what the fuck that would mean. I don't care.
Making claims about this has been my entire point the entire time. No. Like, this is the problem. I listen to you. You don't want to listen or comprehend. I still meant your argument.
Jones, you're not claiming anything. You don't understand what logic is. You told me it was structured reasoning or some bullshit like that.
I just proved to you that I understand what you're talking about by still making your argument.
No, you didn't.
What you're proving to me is you're incapable of listening to somebody who disagrees with you.
No,
okay?
Jones. What I'm telling you is, Jones. I get your point now. You're just saying that. Yes, I do, Jones. All you're saying is, look, we made logic based off the things around in this universe, right? We created this formal system based off the observations that would lead us to the best inferences. Whatever you're trying to say, I get it, right? And you're saying, look, it could be the case that in some other universe, there's just different observations we make, and maybe the axioms of logic don't hold in that universe, right? And what I'm telling you is, what are you saying then?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I was just defeating the position of every possible universe. That's all I was doing. What I'm saying is that
just defeating
like
the single
AR. Like this has been my problem. That like you have multiple people. Like I'm having to deal with people who are over talking me.
I don't want to talk to him anymore, dude.
I don't agree with Emmanuel. I don't agree with Fifth. I don't agree with Forrest. I don't agree with I don't agree with anybody on this fucking panel. But what I don't agree with is you. You know what? No, you guys can keep talking to him because Emmanuel, you said to me, I want to talk to him.
Really?
Can't we just get to the meat of his argument? So
Isn't this legal torture? Cage, look, I like being patient with people, right?
False. You like talking to low tiers because low tiers for some reason stimulate your mind. And I don't know what
Jones,
they do.
it's because they're interesting. Sometimes they have nice thoughts.
Oh, does Jones have nice thoughts after 2 weeks of being yelling at him? He still doesn't know what the fucking laws of logic are.
This is the thing. You're not smart enough.
Nobody was talking to you, dumbass. Anyways, go on, Emmanuel.
You're a child, and your existence, KJ, is disgusting to me. I find you a failure.
I might take that as valid criticism. If you can pronounce my fucking name correctly, you idiot.
Every way I look at you is a failed.
Can I please?
Really?
Life.
Can you say my name correctly?
Development. I'm sorry.
Sir Jones, what's my name?
What did your parents keep you in as a kid? What did your parents keep you in as a kid, S. Jones?
What?
A cage.
Yeah. Look, I mean, Jones, respectfully, you know what, Jones? I apologize.
I hope that seems.
Shut up. I'll apologize to you, and I'll apologize with sincerity if you tell me one of the classical laws of logic. Just one. Go ahead.
Laws of non-contradiction. I'll just fine. The law of non-contradiction. I looked up the laws of logic, and the fact is, the funniest thing, I had no actual issue with it. I found them actually very, very settling. The problem is you don't comprehend them. And what I'll say beyond that,
did I lag or
no? Like you want to hear no. Like imagine being so smart you can't let somebody who disagrees with you speak. What my position? What my point? You're still talking. You're still talking.
Yeah, I was lagging. And look, I can make you stop talking. I just want the written form of it.
You're a child. You're a child. You're a child.
The form of contradiction, Jones. How do you like that?
Oh my God,
Jones, you come up here with this. Hold on, dog. We can all make you stop talking. Do not try to interrupt.
I'm sorry.
Jones, you come up here with this nonsense about illogical possibilities, right? And we always get to the point where we're just like, yeah, you can make that claim, right? But when we're talking about illogical possibilities, it literally just means they're incoherent. And I don't know what else to talk about. Look, yeah, okay, I can grant it to you. Fine, then there's square circles in some universe. I don't care. I don't find that
point. You guys are so cowardly and so weak that you can't even let me talk.
Jones,
hold on, wait.
Jones,
is it logically possible for contradictions to exist? Is it logically possible?
He doesn't even understand what that means, AR.
No. Hold on. For AR, this is the thing, dude. Like, I've had so much respect for you. The fact that you've allowed this to go on like this, dude. I don't even have the ability to make a point. I have like children screaming at me, and I don't even have.
I'm screaming because I'm on a fucking beach. That's why I'm screaming.
Fuck you, bitch.
Hey, take that shit out of here.
Shit!
Look at me.
The fighting words.
I just
He said so much to me. He said so much to me.
Everything I've said has been true.
I don't care.
Jones, you don't know the formal. Don't know what logic is. You've never read anything.
Like you don't. I don't care. Like, and this is the thing. I can make a point right now. The problem is that I have been it has been impossible for me to make a point. My point is simple. If anybody wants to let me make a point, I'll make the point right now. What I am saying is very simple.
I've heard it 1,000 times.
No,
I don't need to hear it
shut the
again.
fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
You talk to me like that one more time, and I swear to God, I'm
You're
going to put my
literally
dick in your
not
mouth.
letting me make the point. You're such a child.
6 times. You've made it 6 times.
You're a child.
Nobody fucking cares, Jones.
No. I know. You have no value or consistency outside of your value here, but I can make a point. Okay,
What
the
are you
point is
talking
simple.
about? Why are you presuming like
I'm
you know
talking
me?
about the nature of who you are as a person.
Hey, what's that, dumbass? Go ahead.
No. You don't have value outside of this.
Yeah, what is
TikTok.
that? Yeah, what's the argument for that? Go ahead.
Clearly, you need to define your character and yourself.
I have a definition of my character, but I want the argument, dumbass. So let's get the argument and get off meta. What's the argument?
You have to mute me?
That my nature is bad.
I'm sorry.
Give the argument. Give the argument.
I'm sorry.
Give the argument.
Yeah. Oh, I can make the argument now? That's nice. So the argument
Give the argument, dumbass. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will. So at the end of the day, it had to take all of that to just give me the chance to make an argument. That's the condition of your chat AR. So at the end of the day, what my point and position is simply this: there is
argument. I want the argument, Jones, not your point. Go ahead.
Oh my God! Logic is
argument
not
for the claim you made. Give me the argument for the claim you made about me, dumbass. Go ahead.
When I say child, this is what I mean.
Cage, it's whatever, bro. Look, I'm just gonna.
Oh, look, he made a claim.
No.
I want the argument for
literally,
the claim.
I keep trying to. I keep getting muted every time.
No, you didn't.
I try to
Wait,
make an argument,
no, you didn't.
I get muted.
You said at the end of the day. No, you said at the end of the day, my point is this, and you're going to go talk about your logic point. You weren't going to make an argument, you dumb fuck.
Are you? You're really that stupid? Okay, all right.
What your claim was, idiot? Your claim wasn't about me not knowing logic. Your claim was about the nature of my existence, to which you weren't about to provide an argument for.
No,
so
I
go
can
ahead
make
and provide
a
an
claim
argument for
that. That's not the topic of discussion.
Hold on, it's a claim you made. I want the argument for the claim. Give me the argument for the claim. Go ahead.
Hold on. Do you want me to talk about you right now? I can do that right now.
I want the argument for the claim you made about me. Go ahead.
Okay. The condition that you're living in right now is that you currently do not have a condition of value outside of TikTok. What you're looking
He's stating the fucking claim, moron.
Yes,
I want an argument for it.
I'm saying you don't want to even. You do not
give me the argument for that claim. Just restate the claim, dumbass. Go ahead.
AR, are you even here? Like, AR, is this what you want your life?
Stuck on daddy's coattails. Just talk to Cage.
No, you stupid bitch! I keep getting muted. You fucking
be good boy, okay?
No,
the second you give the argument, Jones, I won't mute you. But unfortunately, you've not done that yet. So give the argument.
You know what? I love how worthless you are, and
give a fuck what you love. I want the argument for your claim.
And trust me, at the end of the day, this is.
Give me the argument for your claim, Jones. Go ahead.
Listen, the argument is you right now muting me every second. You don't have the maturity, you don't have the intelligence to allow somebody to criticize.
I've already told you.
Openly in public.
Wait. Everybody on this panel is criticizing me. Literally everybody.
You're proving my argument. You don't have.
You haven't made an argument, you dumb fuck.
The intellectual complexity to allow somebody to actually critique you and your perspective. You didn't wait.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead.
On this app, as a mechanism, you haven't stopped talking this entire time, and you've asked me for an argument over and over and over again. So you want an argument? I'll give you an argument. This is not real life. The complexity of actual everyday comprehension and understanding is difficult. It's hard to actually talk down to somebody the way you do and actually think that you're right. It just shows that you lack security within your own comprehension, within your own understanding. And the requirement of this, or the logical basis and foundation of this, is that the complexity of accuracy and truth is a complex basis. I'll end it here and then you guys can go on. But at the end of the day, the complexity of truth is very difficult. We are subjective human beings, and the subjectivity.
Right, so the claim was that I'm an evil human being, not the nature of truth. Try again.
Literally, you can't even let me finish. So
you weren't even talking about it.
No, like
you fucking idiot. This was the claim you made. You said that the nature of my being is an evil or bad one or immature. And then you went on to talk about the nature. Yes. Then you went to talk about the nature of truth, dumbass. So go ahead and give the argument, which is a set of premises, then further conclusion that my nature is somehow immature. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Point A, you don't let people speak. Point B, not literally. Point B, you have to actually abuse people who disagree with you. Point C, you don't take the time to actually necessitate conversations of actually informing you about the necessary disagreement about your particular position. And the conclusion is because of the fact you don't have the self-comprehension or the self.
Hold on, Jones. Look, hold on, Cage. Do not interrupt, bro. Jones, I need you to be honest with me, bro. I need you to be honest with me because I get it, right? You're mad at Cage, but I need you to be honest. Do you read like about philosophy?
Wait, no. You're not just gonna fucking bypass that like that argument was valid.
I know it wasn't, and I don't want y'all to go on a tangent, right? Because
I just want to say this, and then you can go ahead and back at it with Manuel. But I just want to say this dumb fuck said a chain of points that aren't even inferring one another, and then stated a conclusion
they're
like
all
he did
accurate.
something.
Everybody here saw them as accurate. So
I didn't say they weren't accurate. Dumb fuck. Listen up.
So they're not.
Listen up. I said they don't infer each other. Our argument is a chain of premises that are inferred by one another. You idiot. I can accept the conclusion and deny your premises, or accept your premises and deny your conclusion. This is called formal validity. You fucking retard.
Let's just continue. Jones, you got to be honest with me here, pal. Like the way you talk, the things you say, right? It makes it seem that you don't really read into like. And I'm not saying this to belittle you. I'm saying that you seem interested in this stuff, right? Like you're curious. You're like, well, why the fuck can't we have illogical possibilities? It seems that logic is a thing. Hold on, Jones.
I'm taking criticism from this fat bearded fuck. Are you serious?
Hold on.
I'm taking fucking criticism from a neck beard that doesn't touch grass. Are you fucking serious?
Oh my god! Hold on.
Jones, just look. Here's my argument in your form, Jones. Look at me and look at you. Which one of us do you think is more successful? Go ahead.
I love. No. What is success based upon? So American imperialism, is that your base?
Take any metric of success you want. Guys, take whatever one. Shut the fuck up, Emmanuel. I let you go on for an hour.
Yeah, no, I'm happy.
So, Jones, let's get clear here. Let's get clear. Any metric of success you want to use that to measure both of us, and I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm doing better. Go ahead.
The fact that you would even need to do that shows that you don't actually understand what real success is or what real humanity is. You're so weak that you need to compare yourself to other people as a definition of as an individual.
You already did that.
No, you've never. You
already did that, Jones. You already compared you to me. You already did this. This was your doing. This was your doing.
Listen,
I want you to know this. This was your doing. You compared me to other people.
Right. You're 100% right.
Okay, but
that's
all I wanted.
No. Do you think that
I'll take the concession.
Do you think my self-identity is based upon my TikTok presence?
Neither do I. Wait, neither do I.
Neither. Continue to lie to yourself.
I'm not lying to myself.
You literally just said like any metric of success that you could use.
Yeah,
and we're literally talking on TikTok. So TikTok is not a metric that you would use.
If you want to use TikTok as a metric, then yeah.
Are you just lying?
Well, listen to what I said. I said any metric you want to use. If you want to use TikTok as a metric, I'm doing better than you. So what next?
The point is that
do you concede?
No. And this is the point. I do not need the external validation of other people to understand the work and the person.
Neither do I. That's not the point you made. The point you made was that.
You do.
The point you made, Jones, I'm going to walk you through this. The point you made was that any metric, I said any metric of success you want to use. I said any metric of success you want to use. You brought up TikTok. So let's look at TikTok as a metric of success. The metric of success of TikTok clearly shows that not only am I doing better than you in every facet imaginable, in every possible realm.
In capitalism.
So TikTok clearly isn't out. So TikTok is out. I'm better than you. What's the next metric you want to use?
Okay, so you're subservient to capitalism, I'm guessing, and that's the metric.
I'm not a capitalist. I'm actually a Marxist. But go ahead and assume again. What's the next metric?
But what is the metric then? Like, what is
anyone
the
you
metric?
Want to use? Literally anyone. You want to pick one at arbitrary? Go ahead. Anyone. We already did TikTok, and you're already a fucking dumbass. So go ahead. What's next after TikTok?
Oh my god! The funniest thing is that you are No. This is the funniest thing. You are looking for validation external to yourself.
I'm really not
for yourself. You
No,
understand?
I promise you,
You
Jones.
don't
I'm sitting
understand
over
that.
here.
That's the difference between
smoking
you
a
and
cigar,
me.
watching the sunset.
I'm here because I actually like conversation of depth and complexity. Like I
take
like
that. Wait, do you don't fucking read? What are you talking about?
I
You
don't
read
need your
shit.
respect.
Wait,
I
hold
do
on. Just
not
to be
need
clear,
anybody's
with
respect.
everybody, Jones, when was the last time you read a book on any of the shit you talk about?
What?
When was the last time? When was the last time you read a book on ontology, or a book about metaethics, or a book about metaphysics, or a book about epistemology? When was the last time?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I've been paying attention to the genocide in Gaza, and so that's been my major focus. But
okay, so you're not. So
no.
When you said
Continue.
so when you said you're
Continue.
so when you said you're interested in learning about depth and conversation with respect to what we're talking about here, that was false because you're not interested. You're more interested in other things.
No. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Okay, so then that's a contradiction. I'll take that as a concession. Clearly, what you just said was false. You said you care about these types of things. Now you said you don't give a shit. That's false. That's a contradiction. So that's number one. What's the next thing you want to talk about, Jones?
You can mute me, and you think that you're powerful because of that, because you're a child.
I think I just caught you in a blatant contradiction.
No. I think you're deluding yourself to think that like TikTok is a actual representation of what reality is, dude. If you saw me face to face, listen, I don't care about any of this.
I generally
no, you obviously care, dude. The fact that you have to mute everybody, scream over everybody, shows how much your personal identity is intrinsically linked to your identity on.
Can we end this pissing contest?
Hold on, Jones. The reason we get upset at you, right? The reason we get upset at you, me included, in Cage and Forrest, and everyone else up here. Hold on, Jones.
How dare you?
Hold on, Jones. Jones, is because look, Cage is way more well read than me, right? But I try to read. I've read books about the philosophy of logic. I've read books on metaphysics or on metaethics or on any like applied ethics, right? I've tried to learn about these things, right? And you come up here, right? And then when we inform you why your line of reasoning is just dog shit, you're like, well, no, and that's why
you don't. Okay, go ahead.
That's the reason, right? That's the reason that we're obviously we're in this panel because we like philosophy. I don't think any of us are in this panel because we love TikTok. We're in it because we like Phil. We like philosophy. We like arguing about God or theology or whatever the fuck we want to argue about. That's why we're here. It's just a hobby, right? It's not intrinsic to our nature. You're just waffling.
First of all, that's a lie. Like first of all, if you came at me with this energy, I would happily have a conversation, and I would happily allow you to correct me, and we could have a conversation. Instead, I get muted.
Manny, would you allow?
No. This is the thing. This is the thing of children.
Please and thank you.
Children. If you have the ability, if you have the ability to prove me wrong, like logically, foundationally, you should be able to do that in a set time frame of an argument or a debate. Instead of any of that, I have the most childish, the most dumb shit ever. Like, if I'm so wrong, if I'm so stupid, and this is the other thing, I've debated with stupid people. I don't think you want. No, I really, like, KJ. I hope you find. I really do hope you find this funny because, like, I'm actually.
I find that hilarious.
No, I'm great. I'm great at debate. The problem is that once you mute a person, once you mute a person, there is a limitation about what that person can say and the power and superiority of like what an argument sounds like.
I'm gonna give Jones what he's want. I'm gonna give you what you want.
Can you mute him?
Hold on, Jones. But before we do this, right? Do you understand how logical inferences work?
He doesn't. That's the funny part. That's
hold on, Kate. Hold on. Don't laugh.
Listen.
Don't take this as condescending.
No, it's not. You're asking an honest question, and I'll give you an honest answer. I do not personally. I probably know about it in some varying form. No, I mean it. Like,
okay, hold on.
Listen, KJ. One thing, I have a huge dick, so
I grant that. But look, you don't know how to make an inference. So how are you arguing with people?
It's fine. The difference between you and me is I can admit when I don't know something and I'm willing to learn about it. Do you understand
That's false. We've told you how an inference works in the past. We told you the classical rules of logic. Me, Amdir, Emmanuel, AR, we all taught you all of this over 2 weeks ago. You still don't know any of it. You're lying.
You're a child. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I grant you think that, buddy.
All right, look, I'm gonna look.
Listen, I've got a little bit left in me.
Who are these stupid people you're talking to? I'd love to meet them.
Honestly, I've read climate report. No, I've read climate reports. I actually know the condition of the nature of humanity. I understand what's actually
from the climate reports.
No.
He knows the condition of humanity from the climate
what
reports.
was there's a recent MIT. No, KJ. What was the MIT study that recently came out that talked about the future of humanity? Do you know anything about that?
Not at all.
Okay. You can eat a dick, you super bitch.
Does that tell you anything?
No, it does. Like sixth grade. You're on the Titanic arguing about my music playing. And
wait, can you make an argument, S. Jones? You don't know how to form an inference. You don't even know what inferences are.
This mode is scrotum.
That's a little bit of me.
No. Actually, hold on.
Popular lately is time.
No. I know how to make logical arguments. That's all I need.
Go ahead.
No, you don't. Hold on. You need it. This needs to be taught him slow. Do not yell at him. Jones, a logical argument is a set of premises that lead to an inference. That's literally what it means to be.
You're talking about like in conclusion, like a.
No, Jones.
Okay, no. Go on. Fine.
Hold on.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, okay, yeah, so Jones, like, when we talk about logic is the study of how to make valid inferences, given the formal system you're using or whatever, right? That is literally what logic is, right? It's going to be to make inferences. So when we're talking about a logical argument, it's going to be like some sort of syllogism, maybe there's informal logic, right? But like, it's going to be like a set of premises that infer each other and infer a conclusion. That's what it means to have a logical argument. Now, I take it that your notion of what logical argument means is just to sort of make, like point out things that like intuitively connect and then be like, okay, well, this leads to that conclusion. I get that. That's like informal logic, right? That's like a way of logic, I guess. It's informal, right? But a valid, formal logic, right, argument is going to be a set of premises that infer each other that lead to the conclusion using a valid inference rule. It has to be complete and sound, right? Yeah. Semantically, syntactically, it has to be sound, right? And like, that's why this is the distinction we have to make here, right? And like we have to make sure you know that when we're talking about this. And that's why we got to.
So just real quick, just so I'm following. So when you mean inference, you mean point 1, 2, 3 conclusion, and that the conclusion has to. No, I listen. This I understand logic, but is this the like? Is that what you mean inference?
Say it again. Sorry.
So when you're talking about inference, are you talking about like point 1, 2, 3, like I like every Coloradoan exists in the United States. Therefore,
I'm like rolling around in my seat.
No, I mean I'm like. So are you talking about classical logic? Just that like inferences have to be based upon supporting conclusions. Is that what you're saying when you
talking about a formal system? Yeah, dumbass.
Yeah, we're not talking about inference.
Holy shit!
Yeah, we're just talking about inference. Look, hold on. Like, an inference is just like the process, right, or like moving from one or more statements to a conclusion. That's like the most simple way I can put it. So yeah, look, Jones. Yeah, in a way, yeah, of course. Like what you're saying, right? I get you're like P1, P2, P3 conclusion. Yeah, that's a syllogism, right? And that's a way to make an inference, right? And then there's an inference rule.
There's confusion there too. Syllogism. Shut up, Jones.
KJ, can you shut up, KJ?
Hold on. KJ, hold on, Jones. KJ knows more about this than me.
Shut the fuck up.
KJ knows more about this than me. Yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, a syllogism just refers to a formal argument that contains two premises that yield a conclusion. Anything outside of that is just considered what's called a formal argument, which can have multiple premises that are inferred through some rule of inference. Now, the main question here is what are valid forms of inference? What does it mean to make a valid inference? And if you don't know what that is, Jones, then when you make arguments like that are in the structure of P, Q, R, therefore S, where those are all variables, by the way, dumbass, that represent some content. What I can do is I can accept P, I can accept Q, and I can accept R, but deny S because S does not come from P, Q, and R. I can accept S, but deny P, Q, and R.
Yeah, look, I'm like what Kate said is right. Syllogism it's not just that, but what you're saying when you're saying P1, P2, like, yeah, that's a way of making an inference, right? Now, what he's saying there is that the structure, right, or like if we're just talking about the semantics, right? The semantics are gonna have to follow, and then when you're talking about like the formula, like what's in my name, you're gonna have to follow certain like rules, right, to make them valid. Syntax, like I think it's syntax or syntax, I can't remember, but they're gonna have to be valid, right? They're gonna be structured, right, in a way that make them valid, right? Even when you're giving the semantics of it, or you're making it in like a logical formula, you're gonna have to be both complete and sound, right? And that involves a lot of it has to do whenever you're using words, right, to formulate an argument, then it's the semantics used. But again, that's just very important to remember, right? Like it has to be sound and it has to be complete.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. All right.
Okay. And then when we're talking about inferences, again, like you understand those now. Inference rules are sort of the things that make them valid in a way. They're like the things you're using to make the inference, right? Like they're the tool you're using to make the inference valid, right? So there's like modus potens, modus tollens. There's a bunch of different inference rules that you can use and search and put in such a way that make the inference lead from the premises. Right?
Okay.
And
I got a real question. What is the logical structure that defines this structure itself? Like, because what I'm hearing is a structural condition, but from my perception, logic does not work in the same way mathematics does. You know what I mean? We don't get to 2 + 2.
It's pretty similar. The math uses logic a lot, bro.
It's almost the entire formal system of math is based off of inferences that piano made. Like 0 is a real number, and that's a proposition. Holy shit, math does work the same way that logical inferences are made.
Is it evil to murder somebody or unalive somebody? How does that work in the same condition of mathematics?
Because what you would do is take any mathematical proposition. Take it that if somebody comes up to you and says, look, let's say, like take a proposition the AI just talked about where he says 0.9 repeating is equal to 1. And I say, AR, what's the argument for that? He's going to present me a set of premises or just propositions that are mathematic in nature that yield the conclusion 0.9 repeating is equal to 1. You can do the same thing with any claim you make. Like if I say God exists as a true proposition, you can do the same thing where there's prior propositions that yield that conclusion. So yeah, it does work the same fucking way. Congratulations.
Okay. That didn't make okay. Actually, hold on. I'm actually going to try to get to the heart of this issue, and if you can answer this, I'm more than willing. Even you, KJ, and I personally dislike you a shit. If you can answer this, I will listen. This is my question. Logic is not a condition that is defensible or comprehensible within itself. Logic requires the condition of consciousness. Like there is no formal condition of logic that can exist outside the mechanism or the perception of consciousness. How do you define logic as a predication so great and so powerful outside of the human system of consciousness when intrinsically, logically, logic cannot exist outside of human consciousness?
Oh, okay.
Take all of that fucking confusion, and I'm going to answer it by saying, if what you're asking me is, how can something be without existence or without consciousness true? Yeah, take it the same way that any a priori proposition is true or any tautology is true.
So you don't have an answer at all?
He doesn't know what those words mean.
No. I mean, okay. So what you're forgetting and what you're not a priori, I understand, is knowledge just gained. But where is that knowledge based upon?
Without experience, retard. Without experience.
I understand.
Consciousness.
Oh, why do you have the accessibility of that knowledge? That knowledge is easily accessible to you.
Because the concept contains itself, dumbass. Because if I say to a fucking person, hey man, did you know a bachelor is an unmarried man? He doesn't need to go out and fucking meet Bill the Bachelor or Jones the Bachelor.
No. My question is about the standardization. Where does the conclusion of an unmarried bachelor come into the cognitive foundation of a human being? Is it just a natural process? Do we naturally naturally just comprehend logically that a married bachelor is a nonsensical position? Do we just naturally do that? Where does the nature of that condition that leads to the logical foundation that you are arrogantly claiming that you have some fucking knowledge of, you
watch
stupid
this.
bitch.
Watch this. It's contained in the word bachelor. Oh, holy shit! Who would have thought?
Yeah, this is hard. Like, hold on, Jones. Like, this is very interesting, right? This is very interesting because hold on, Jones.
Fucking idiot.
Don't fall into the rhetoric, Jones. Look, very interesting, right? And I'm gonna point to you some books. What KG is referring to, right? These ideas of necessary truths or analytical truths or tautologies or a priori knowledge. They were written down like 600 years ago, and these notions, these confusions you have, they're really much better explained by people like Kant or Hume or fucking Descartes than we're gonna be able to explain it to you, because you're gonna have to read. Like that's the thing. Like,
Kant believed in God. This is the problem. Like, you're talking.
Hold on,
Holy
Joe.
shit.
Hold on. Oh my God. Yes, Kant believed in God. So did Descartes. I'm not sure if Hume did. Yeah, of course they did, right? But they explained these notions. Kant, like, yeah, just because a philosopher believed in God, right, doesn't mean that all his predications about philosophy are going to be based and like stuck, like covered in the honey that God's belief is, right? No, they did hold that these things are true independent of God, some of these things, right? Now, when it bottoms out, right, like the Cartesian circle, when it bottoms out at some point, yeah, they'll invoke God in some way, right? In like some foundational way, right? But extrinsic of that, it's not going to be the case that they're baked in God, right? They're not, like, these necessary truths are not going to be true just because God is true, right? There's other ways you can come about of making these without a God, right? There's just different positions and different commitments that make something true in your web of beliefs.
You guys aren't interested in these other arguments. I've been like, I understand the Cartesian circle. I understand a lot of this. I don't understand
about that.
We're not talking about that. I was giving you an example as to how, like, Descartes, right, used.
You know what? Let's extrapolate this sentence. You said, why is it the case that a married bachelor is so illogical and so incoherent that it couldn't possibly exist in Cage's arrogant view? Well, maybe, Jones, when I hear you say that, what I'm hearing is, hey, Cage, can a married, unmarried man exist? Well, no, dumbass, because in the content of what it means to be a bachelor is that you're unmarried. So if you say to me, hey, Cage, can you be married and unmarried at the exact same time in the exact same sense wherein I can observe the world and see that type of person? No, dumbass.
No, that's not. Honestly,
Cage, I think he's just asking.
It's like
I never said. It's such a joke to me.
Hold on, Cage. Look, he's just giving like the basic, like, it's like when you first read it, you know, like when you first learn about necessary truths, you're like, well, how can they be, you know, true, devoid of sensory experience? How is it the case that, like, if I didn't learn about what a bachelor was, then I wouldn't know, right? But that's besides the point, Jones. The point is that it can't be the case, right, that a bachelor can be unmarried, right? Or I can't remember the fuck I was talking.
I agree. Hold on.
Okay, Jones. Yeah,
No. Like, can I? This is the hardest problem about this entire conversation, is that I've not been allowed to actually give my position because I keep getting interrupted and muted. I do agree that there is no such thing as a married bachelor. I do agree that the laws of logic within this universe are foundational and they are beyond kind of the condition of changing to a certain degree. I disagree. Hold on. Just let me fuck. Like, can I just let me finish this?
We're not talking.
Okay. What I'm just saying is that I think that the laws of logic potentially have limitations, and it is illogical to claim that the laws of logic do not have limitations. What I mean by that is to say that, like, all possible worlds, you know what I mean? If we want to claim that, like, all possible worlds with our condition of logic, that is something. But we never, even with worlds in existence that exist or potentially could exist with the same laws that we do, we never have potential access to this. We have one. Hold on, just let me finish the point. We have one access. Okay, we have one universe. This one universe is the only thing that we have. To add additional conditions of the nature of this universe that we can never prove or we can never comprehend is not logical. You don't have a basis of logic to prove this because of the fact it is logically improvable. Okay,
I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna explain to you why what you're saying doesn't make sense. I'm gonna give you a valid inference as to why it doesn't make sense. And if you still continue with this argument, okay, look, to call something a logical possibility is like at first it's like I get it, it's tempting, right, to like imagine a reality that's radically different than ours, right, from our own, where the basic axioms or the basic laws of logic just do not hold, right?
The laws of logic are not axioms.
I know, but I'm trying to make it.
Well, this is crucial to his point about it being a limitation. Like, they aren't axioms, right? They're theorems.
So I get that. I'm trying to make it intuitive.
If we get into that, then first I'm going to have to teach him, well, what is a theorem? Well, it's a derivation. It's a conclusion of a principle. But what are the principles that make up the formal system of classical logic? He's not even understand what a fucking inference
I'm trying to make it. I get that logic. I get that. I understand the distinction, but I'm trying to make it intuitive to him so he doesn't ask too many questions that lead on to like completely off places. But look, I get it. It's tempting that like identity, non-contradiction, like excluded middle. There could be like you're when we're saying, oh well, like no, that's not possible. At first you're like, well, why is it not possible? We're just assuming that these laws are right everywhere, right? But logic isn't just another feature of the universe, right? It's not like something like gravity or time.
How do you define that? Just real
what
quick.
do you mean?
How do you find what? No, like you're making a claim about logic through your consciousness. How do you define logic in status conditions outside of your own consciousness?
What?
How do you
point out? Well, to Jones's point, like if you point out that they're theorems, that does kind of steelman his position about searching for the limitation of logic, etc. These are well-formed formulas and theorems. They're not. That's all they are.
Yeah,
so
I agree. Logic, but the problem is, first, in order to like challenge and talk about meta logic, what I would appreciate, and I think you might appreciate this too, logic, is that you might need to know some of the primitive theories that come before challenging the completeness of a formal system. Like
no, I'm asking you. I'm asking you a very simple question. The fact that like you're like let me just
no, you're not.
No. I am asking you. Very simple. Let me ask it. Let me hold on.
Let me restructure the question in such a way that
I'd like to finish what I was saying before I swallowed a fucking bug. So, anyways,
God loves me.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I was saying to logic was that I'm sure you can appreciate. Excuse me. Needing to know what an inference is prior to challenging the completeness of a formal system. It's like not knowing what 1 + 1 is and then challenging the piano arithmetic axioms.
No. It's literally asking.
Again, shut the fuck up. I wasn't talking to you. Anyways, go ahead.
Same there, yeah.
No. It is literally asking.
Logic, that's why we're trying to hold his hand through it a little bit.
No. Let me. Okay. Answer me this. If you guys actually understand the answer to this, then just explain it to me. Why is it?
Jones, if you're just hold on, Jones. I need you to don't ask the same question the same way you did before because it didn't make fucking sense. Ask it like in a different way. I didn't get the fuck you were asking.
All right, I'm smoking a cigarette. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. The question I'm honestly asking is. Please just let me talk. Let me give my response without muting me. So we're all subjective, okay? The nature of our existence is subjective. We have logic as the basis of our condition of evaluation for people who actually care about like intellectual shit, okay? Where do we get the foundation? No. Hold on. Where do we have a foundation beyond our subjectivity to explain the nature of the universe beyond our actual condition? Where does the logic come to be beyond our actual limitation of subjective perception? Like, where does that come from? And how can we prove it logically? Because from what I see, we're all subjective. Like this is like I'll give you the best example, the easiest example I can give. Solipsism. Solipsism is probably the argument that nobody can actually argue against or have a condition against. How is it that if solipsism is a foundational condition or reality of any answer that we potentially have, how is it that you can then claim beyond solipsism, like you're just moving beyond solipsism to say that we have a logical foundation that is not only true and accurate, but is capable of evaluating stuff beyond not only our existence, but beyond our life and perception?
I get it, Jones. I get it. If you're just asking, right, like, how do we know that, like, the logical possibility holds up? Is that what you're asking?
What I'm saying is, how do we know logical possibility holds up outside of the human perception of it?
Okay, so Jones, and this is gonna have to go back to the semantics of what possible worlds mean, right? And this is gonna be hard to grasp for you, right? But when we're speaking about possible worlds, what's possible and what's not, right? There is no such thing as a logical possibility, right? But hold on, do not interrupt me, right? Again,
go ahead.
Okay, so right, again, logic is not just another feature, and this is what I was getting into, right? It's just not, isn't time or gravity, right? It's like, imagine it's like the scaffolding to allows us to even conceive of any universe, right? Right, and I'll get to the point you're making at the very end, right? Where it tells us what it means for something. Logic is going to be able to tell us what it means for something to be true, false, possible, or impossible, right? Like if we use modal logic or any like some sort of like formal system, right? Without it, we can't really distinguish what is and what isn't, right? What makes sense, right, and what doesn't. A world where contradictions are true or where nothing is identical to itself isn't just like strange. It's not like it's just odd.
It would destroy our consciousness.
It's not a strange alternate reality. It's incoherent jumble, right? That can't be described, imagined. It can't be imagined or reasoned about. Even the sentence, there are logical possibilities, relies on logic to have meaning, right? It assumes the laws that it's trying to deny, right?
Yes.
Now, obviously, there's philosophers who have made different, they've tried to make adjustments or alternatives to classical logic, like paraconsistent logic, intuitionist logic, right? But they're all still operating within structured systems. They're not throwing logic out by adjusting its rules while preserving like the coherence of it, right? So the idea of truly illogical possibilities or a freer kind of existence, like it breakdowns intelligibility, right? It's like asking it's like asking what's north of the North Pole or what square circles look like.
Yes.
Hold on. The concept defeats itself by trying to mean something, right? While denying the conditions of meaning, right? What it means to mean anything is going to come from the formal system you're using. And hold on, Jones, hold on. If you're just making the very uninteresting point, right? Or just making the uninteresting point that, well, we just don't know if this is going to hold up. I don't know what the fuck. Because again, meaning, what it means to reason, what it means to have rationale. And going back to the possible world semantics, it's baked into the notion, right? Again, what I was trying to explain to you, when we use the semantic of possible worlds, right, that are possible, that are feasible, the basic, like the most basic form, like the lowest tier of possibility, like I'm going to make it intuitive to you, is going to be logical possibility. It literally just, all it's asking is don't entail contradiction and it's feasible, right? That's going to be possible. That's the lowest bar. And now Jones, hold on, Jones, and interrupt me. Because I'm really like just trying to make it as simple as possible for you.
Right, sorry,
I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, Jones. Now, I grant what you're saying. I guess in a way, if it's intuitive to you, whatever. I'm not a solipsist, right? So I don't hold that position. You are. But Jones, again, you're making the claim, right, that it's not just feasible, or it's like we can't know if it's possible for a world to exist that's illogical, right? But we can know, because the only way we can know anything is through logic, right? And so if we don't use logic to know, then we're not knowing anything, and that's the whole point.
Yes.
Now, Jones, you can yeah, fine. That's you can make the argument. Well, we don't know if logic is true, or whatever the fuck you're trying to say, right? But what it means to know, right? What it means to know is to use logic, right? And if we're going away from it, then we're not knowing anything. We're not rationing about anything. We're not reasoning about anything. We're not doing anything. So it's pointless. Okay. So that's. And again, logical possibility. Hold on, John. I need you to, like, when we're talking about possible worlds, we're talking about modal logic. That's what added these semantics into the world. Like Kripke, whenever he's fucking on acid or something, but he added these semantics to the world, right? A possibility, necessity, contingency, all these things, right? And he baked it in. The notion is baked in there when it's talking about possibility. When it's talking about modality of possibility. Logical, normal logical, temporal, all these other things that all these type of modalities, logical is just baked into them. It's a baked in notion, right, of what it means to be possible is to be logical. Because if it's illogical, then it literally just is incoherent. It's ramble, it's jumble, it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't matter.
I understand. First of all, I understand, and this is actually my point, is that we do not have the condition to evaluate the structural reality of reality outside of no like dude, I listen to you. Can you listen to me for just a little bit? What I am saying is that, like, everything that we see and experience is an existence that we don't have the structural reality to comprehend. I do not understand any logical process where my consciousness has developed its consciousness. And because of that, to say or claim that my consciousness is based upon a pure logical foundation based upon the nature of logic is a circular reasoning that destroys itself. Either I have to accept that there is a condition and a reality of acceptance of condition that I have never had any an inch of control over, that I have to use to evaluate the world, which would mean it is not a predication of myself. That is the foundation of what I'm talking about. There is no logical foundation for the condition of logic because logic cannot explain the complexity of human consciousness. Well, the only point that I'm trying to actually get at is that it is illogical to claim that we know the foundation of the nature of our logical perception and comprehension, because a logical condition of where I get my logic from would mean that I would have a logical, foundational, perceptional, comprehensible condition about the condition of my consciousness. Nobody understands qualia. You understand? Nobody understands qualia. And so to claim that logic is the foundation of qualia, when in fact, qualia is a foundation of not logic, but of human perception, and human logic is to put the cart before the horse.
Like, what you're saying makes zero sense. It doesn't follow. Hold on, Jones. Again, you didn't. I don't know if you actually extrapolated. Hold on, Jones. I don't know if you extrapolated what I was saying. Right. When we're talking about what it means to have a possible world, it's just going to entail some logical foundation. Now, I don't. If you're just saying that, like, you're a solipsist and you don't think.
No, I'm not a solipsist. I'm not at all.
If you're just saying if you're just saying you're a solipsist and you don't think
I'm not a solipsist.
or if you're saying logic, if you're saying logic can't justify itself or something like that, then I that's a different conversation.
I'm not. Again, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm not a solipsist. What I'm saying is logic is not a foundation of itself. Logic is a foundation of human consciousness. Okay, I cannot use logic to define the conditions of my own existence. It is it is the problem of a circular argument. I do not have the strategic or the comprehensive.
I'm sorry, Jones. I tried, bro.
I listen. If you don't understand, fine. If you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm not a solipsist. What I'm saying is that logic is not.
Nobody understand the words coming out of your mouth.
Logic cannot be the basis of its own existence because logic is a predication of consciousness. Okay, do you understand that? Do you understand what I'm saying with that? That logic
if you're just saying that there's a hard problem of consciousness and logic isn't suffice enough to, I don't even know what the fuck. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what the fuck you're saying. This doesn't make sense. I guess you're coming at qualia. You're coming at qualia. I grant. Okay, look. Let me put it this way, Jones. If we were ever to solve qualia, how could it be done?
That's the entire point.
Jones. If we ever were to solve qualia, explain it, define it, find a way to reduce it to some physical state, find out that it's from God. If we were to do anything, if we were to find anything about qualia, how would we do it?
It's not a thought I've actually had.
But how do you? If we were able to do it, how would we manage to do it? How would we manage to do it?
It would be about presence and life. It would have. There's no other way you can do it.
So presence and life, right? So we would experience this, and then what will we do to manage to explain it as qualia, or how will we connect the dots in order to explain qualia? Doing what?
Living and existing. It would have to be. First of all, it would have to be so substantial, so significant that like no other answer would be the answer. It would have to be.
That's fine. But when we experience this thing, right, and we're able to do what? There's a word here. It starts with an I. We're able to do what in order to connect it to that. It explains qualia. There's a word here. It rhymes with burper, right? I don't know what it rhymes with infer. But whenever we experience this thing, we're gonna be whenever we experience this thing, we're gonna be able to infer, right? We're gonna be able to infer, right? And we're gonna be able to use logic to go to the
Okay,
conclusion.
yeah.
Okay,
I
there you
agree.
go.
I agree. Okay. So the point. Okay, the point that I'm making is, and this is my point the entire time. Logic does not infer anything beyond human perception, and that's it. That's like, and this
Wait,
is the
that's
thing.
also false. Holy shit, that's
Okay,
also
okay, okay,
false.
okay. I would love
I
for you
can't
to
make
prove that.
arguments about shit I haven't seen. Look, here's an argument you wouldn't find a fucking valid then. Big booty Latinas exist, and the argument for that is if there exists a continent called South Africa, then big booty Latinas exist and modus ponens from there. But because you've never seen South Africa and you've never seen big booty Latinas, this obviously isn't a valid fucking argument to you because logic is only the type of thing that governs what we see and how we explain it. What the fuck are you talking about? Holy shit. It's like all Aristotle, Plato,
You're dumb.
Socrates, fucking Thomas Aquinas, Kant, like
I
all these
don't
people.
need to experience it personally for it to be a human experience. Like that is the dumbest argument ever. I never
You said
said
that
that.
dumb shit.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said consciousness is the type of thing that explains what we experience or pertains to human
No,
reality.
I
That's dumb
said
as fuck.
no. I'll literally say what I said. There is no condition of evaluation of reality that exists outside of human consciousness. If you want to
Yeah.
argue with that,
Yep.
go ahead.
Right. And you don't think Plato made arguments about things outside of human consciousness?
Plato made arguments about the nature of consciousness. That
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah, I grant that. Was that my fucking question? No, I said, do you think he made arguments that talked about things outside of human consciousness?
Okay, so Plato made arguments about the Geiger phenomena. So obviously no. Plato made arguments about the paracarbonate because of the fact it
What the
was.
fuck are you talking about? Are you on drugs?
No. I'm making an argument that's not about a human consciousness. The paracarbonate is not human consciousness. Obviously.
Look, I don't know what
Was
I don't know what
Plato
that word.
making those arguments?
I don't know what that fucking word means. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's kind of throwing me off a bit. But you don't think he talked about different ontologies? You don't think he talked about different facts of the world that exist outside of human consciousness? Kant talked about a whole fucking world called the noumena that humans don't experience.
I love
Fucking
having a
dumb.
big dick. I love having a big dick. What I'll say is I love Plato. I think he was accurate.
No.
Eating it.
What have you read from Plato? Name one thing. Go ahead.
Allegory of the Cave. The idea of fucking what
The
is
point
it?
of a book. What book was it in, dumbass?
I don't. First of all,
You
why?
never read the book. You didn't read the book. You read fucking.
I
You
read
read
the book. I
fucking.
read the book. I
You
read the book.
Google. You fucking Google AI'd. What did Plato talk about?
Theories of form.
Fucking read
First
from
of all,
there, dumbass.
no. Theories of form. First of all, the theory of form. I think Plato was 100% accurate because I think Plato was talking
Is that
about
a part of?
what?
What book did his theory, forms and ideas rest in?
What?
These are all theories he gave in books and lectures, by the way.
Literally, bitch. Shh.
You've
And
not read anything about Plato. Don't you dare talk about my fucking Lord and Savior like that again. You keep his name out of your fucking mouth.
Say it more calmly, bitch.
Look, I mean, you could have named Plato's Menos or The Republic, which are popular fucking books that every first year college graduate has ever fucking read.
Listen, I don't care about that. I do care about Plato's greater works, which is the theory, like the idea of. I love Plato.
What book did this work come in? You care about it so much. What was the work called?
S. Jones, just name the one Plato book you can think of, and it's going to be right. I promise.
Outside of the Republic, as I just gave you. Go ahead. Name one other fucking book. I'll even accept lectures or even papers. Go ahead.
No, you're thinking of Dr. Seuss. Zach.
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
name
Dr. Seuss.
I'll even
Mix those
accept.
up.
Just so we're clear on the criterion, I would accept popular lectures. I would accept
No, that's
famous
Dr.
moments in
Truth.
history. I'd accept books. I'd accept papers. I'd accept anything other than you just naming a popular theory that came in one of these things. Go ahead. Anything. Google it.
I don't care enough to do any of that. What I'll tell
Okay, so
you.
when you said to me, I love Plato and his work, you fucking lied to me, you deceitful cunt.
No. What I'm saying is, I think Plato was accurate. His theory of forms. Actually, I can explain it if you
Sure.
guys are
What about his
interested.
theory of forms? What about his theory of forms?
Explain his
Yes,
theory of
yes.
forms. Explain his theory of forms real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No,
I'd love to hear
I think.
this.
Yeah. Okay. So, Carl Jung had this idea of a collective unconscious. I have an idea that, like, Plato's theory of forms was actually addressing this very same.
No, dumbass. What is his theory of forms? I'm not asking about Jung. I'm asking about Plato. Explain Plato's theory of forms that he delivered in his book. Go ahead.
You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna do this. You can eat a dick. I was gonna explain it. It's fine.
That's
It's fine.
false. You weren't going to
Yeah,
explain it.
he was gonna explain it.
I was. This
You've
is the
never
thing.
read the work. You don't know what book it's from. You don't know what Plato's
I
last name
do
is.
not
You
know.
don't know
I do
fuck about
not know
Plato.
what book it's from. You're right.
Sir,
You're right.
hear
You're
about
right
this,
on
Jones.
that.
What was
You're
Plato's
right
last
on
name?
that.
Go ahead.
I don't need a validation from you or
Yeah,
anybody
but
else. Here.
S Jones, it's so you don't have to LARP. Like you can express that you have an interest in these things and also say, yeah, I haven't really read it, but I have this general idea of X or Y and I like it.
I
and
actually read the entire text because of the fact I had an argument and a disagreement about.
I don't care. You're providing too many details, which makes me think you're lying. I'm just saying.
I guess I'm
all I'm
providing.
saying is it's not. It's okay if you
This
haven't.
guy's fucking just a
All right.
fucking. What's it called when you lie all the time for no reason?
Pathological.
Yeah, just a fucking pathology. You didn't need to lie about that. Most people haven't read Plato's actual works. That's fine. I haven't even read the totality of Plato's works, and I went to school for that shit. So I understand. But when you say things like, I'm intimately familiar with Plato's works, or, yeah, I love Plato's works.
When did I say I'm intimately? Fuck.
No, you just said
intimate
you're
with Plato.
sorry, yeah, I had intimate, but you said you were familiar with his works and you love them.
Okay.
And when you said that, you lied to me like a deceitful snake.
Let's play a game here.
Thanks for the
that
donut,
actually did
Smokey.
read Plato. Let's play a game. Why? Like,
No.
No. Do you think that at the end of the day, that, like, I remember Plato verbatim, word for word, on his lectures about the cave or his condition? And this is the thing.
Yes. He gave one lecture about the cave, dumbass.
Sure.
So that was false, but I don't think you even have a vague understanding.
This is the funniest thing. Actually, this is the funniest thing. I think that none of you actually understand Plato on his lecture of the cave.
You haven't read anything about it. You're so arrogant. You call me arrogant?
Listen. The thing I love about objective reality is that it doesn't matter what you think. I can. You're right. I could be lying right now. I could be lying right now. No. Like, you're right. I could be lying right now. I could be completely.
It's not that you could be. You are.
No. But this is the thing.
Yes.
I don't give a shit because of the fact I know reality. I don't care.
You don't give a shit about lying about.
Do you understand that? Do you understand that, child?
Well, you're actually. It's not the
Jones.
case that you could be lying. It is the case that you are lying because you've admitted to me you haven't read the work.
Okay. Do you believe in objective morale or objective reality?
We're not gonna. Jump topics again. Like, come on.
Go ahead, dumb bitch.
This guy's just a pathological liar.
I'm saying one thing.
Don't try to be rhetorical.
So, Jones, I have a question. You seem like you were saying that qualia couldn't be explained by logic, like logic is the only tool we have. It's one of many different tools. We can't prove it without using logic, which is sort of circular. That's okay. We accept it intuitively. And there's causality, there's sense perception, other things that we look at. But you're looking at, like, logic alone would be something to explain all of reality, like qualia. There's scientific investigation. There's all this sort of stuff. And it's something that some people think it's part of the structure of reality, the logical landscape. Some think it just has to results from a mind. But you probably use logic in everyday life and don't even realize it. So you can't just take logic alone and say it can't explain qualia, and that's the problem.
You can, Dr. Truth. You just be
hold on. My claim is very simple. Logic is not a self-defending position because of the fact logic is not a position that can exist outside of the
Outside
realm
of
of human consciousness.
nature.
Not a
No.
position.
Logic cannot exist
Not
outside of
exist
the
outside the
condition of
laws of
human
nature.
consciousness.
Yeah, you've said that 5 fucking times. You've sounded more progressively dumb as you've said it each time.
I think that you're too stupid to understand the simplicity of it, but I love it.
Simplicity, motherfucker. In
You're
what way
outs-
or form
You've
was that
outsmarted
simple?
common sense, Cage. You're overthinking this
Fuck, my bad.
simplicity of it.
No. Like, oh my god, I love this. The fact is that Alex O'Connor and a few, I forget the other atheists,
Oh, don't you
talk
met?
about.
No. Look, now you're talking about people I've actually spoken to and met
No.
before they were big. You're not going to lie on Alex's or Cosmic Skeptic's name. We're not going to do
You
that dumb
want
shit.
no. This is the thing. This is the difference between reality and your delusion that you live with constantly. I actually understand at least a little bit of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you
Your
can tell.
idea.
That's
No,
false.
listen.
That's
The
trivially
funniest thing
false.
about this, is I can prove every one of you wrong here, and you would still believe because you're in a cult.
Yeah, he could tell us, but we wouldn't believe him anyway.
Call now, Slurms. Me and
Do you
you.
want me to do it right now?
When
I'll
did
do
you
it
do
right
that?
now.
No.
I'll do it right now.
Don't allow him to pivot. No. What do
No,
you
I'll
think?
do it right now.
What is it about Alex's views that you've spoken to him about?
I've never
Wait,
spoken to
is he
Alex about
saying he's
anything.
spoken to Alex
There is
O'Connor?
What the fuck did
he
you
had an
bring up
no.
Alex?
There was an argument that Alex
Oh, who
made
left?
with.
What?
Oh, Dr. Truth.
What was the
Hi,
argument made
Dr.
about?
Truth.
Oh, is he still
The
here? I kept out of my
argument
phone.
was about. First of all, the argument was about how religiosity or the belief in God was the condition and the foundational condition of truth versus how materialism self-defeats itself because of the
Well,
fact
there's blunder number one. Alex isn't a fucking materialist, nor is he religious. So who is he speaking to that held these views?
they were talking about theistic arguments they could not win against.
Oh, what were the arguments talking about wherein they discuss things like religious beliefs are truth makers or that materialism is a truth maker? Who are they fucking talking about?
Actually, you know what? Like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go look it up right quick. So
Yeah,
I'll be
you're
right back.
lying out of your ass cheeks.
The funniest thing about this shit is I have a
Stop
huge.
saying that.
None of this is funny. This is depressing. I'm depressed right now.
Wait, did he say he met Alex O'Connor, or am I tripping?
No, he said, I remember talking to Alex, and I'm like, you haven't fucking talked to Alex.
that. I never said that.
That's false.
I never said that.
Look, I mean, if you weren't such a raging, arrogant prick, condescending, and or a pathological liar, I might actually be cool with some of the dumb shit you've said. I might actually be patient. I was on a little bit of a virtue arc recently, trying to become more patient. But you fucked that all up.
That's not true.
No, it is true. I promise.
Okay, every time you interacting with low tiers is like the funniest thing ever, bro.
Look, I give people like Amdir respect. Amdir doesn't fucking like me.
But Amdir's smart.
Yeah. I know quite a few people that I speak to that don't like me. Alex being one of them, by the way.
Have you spoken to Alex O'Connor?
Well, yeah, back when he was on fucking Discord with the rest of us.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bitch. Look it up. It's there. Hopefully you can read that.
What's the
I
title?
obviously. No, I don't. You want a title? I'll give you a title. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, I want the title. You said go look it up. It's there.
So
Like I was just gonna fucking believe you. I'm not gonna believe a word out of your fucking mouth.
While he's gone, Nico, Sneeko with the Y.
So,
Yeah, Nico.
yeah. So like, atheism is absolutely debunked once you realize that every creation needs a
I'm
creator.
gonna kill
And
myself.
like atheism, like when you like a pen has a creator, like a computer has a creator, but the instance you say the universe has a creator, the atheism just loses all logic.
I love this guy. Honestly, I like you, Unico.
Is he LARPing?
Yeah, I spit so much facts.
I don't fucking agree with anything you say, but I like your gusto.
He likes the cut of your jib.
I do. I am a big fan of your jib.
You walk to the beat of your own drum.
You know it's bad when I haven't cleaned out my car in a
9
while. There's
questions
fucking speed
atheists
holes.
can't answer. It was done with unsolicited advice. Great philosopher. I love them. I respect them. I think they're fantastic. So
Okay, you know they're both atheists, right?
No shit, asshole. The fact
Okay.
is, they're more intelligent than you, and that's
And
the
you,
difference.
well, Alex is questionable, but I do grant that the other guy that I've never spoken to him may be more intelligent than me. That's perfectly possible, if not probable. But I understand I understand during that video that I also watched, by the way, he is making materialistic arguments. But discussing the points that theists make, so it's kind of counterpoint. So I might grant that point, but not at any point in the video do I remember them talking about some type of religion being truth making or probability raising. So I don't believe that.
I don't, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Like this is the other thing about being right. Like the only the argument that they made was that materialism was self defeating, and that like religion. What they called it. If you watch the video, they talk about the condition of religiosity being a circular system of virtue. No,
Wait, that's not what you said before. Wait. That's not what you said before. What you said before was that how religion is somehow truth making to their beliefs. That's what you said. Now we're changing it.
What the? Why? Where hold on.
Right, because then I questioned you
No.
on Alex not being a religious man.
Where did I ever say religion was truth making?
You said in the video, Alex was talking to
you're lying. You're lying. Go ahead.
I promise you, I would never do that with somebody as dumb as you. I don't need to lie to make you look stupid.
Lie more. I made a particular claim. That was not it.
A particular as what? Opposed to a fucking general claim? No shit, dumbass.
So you actually no. It's clear to me you don't comprehend anything that you hear. You just hear what you want to hear. Go ahead. So what claim did I make?
You said that in the video, Alex talked about 2 points. One, materialism being either it was true or false. I'm pretty sure you said true because then I responded with Alex isn't a materialist. So that seemed weird to me. The first thing you said, that was the second thing, was talking about how religiosity. I don't know why you're interrupting me. And how religiosity is somehow truth making. I don't understand either of those points, and the reason I say that is because then I responded to you by saying, "Oh, look, Alex clearly isn't a fucking theist, so I don't know why he'd ever make that point." And I don't know whoever he was speaking to isn't a theist also, so I don't know why those points were brought up.
No, I didn't make any of those points because you're a child.
Jones.
That is quite literally an ad hoc. Holy shit, that's the first
ad
hoc I've heard on TikTok.
Literally, I remember the points that I made.
Mr. Jones.
Do you understand that? I guess I'm a liar.
I don't think you have a strong enough working memory to do that.
No, I literally
Mr.
gave
S.
you the
Jones.
video. I gave you the video where I was talking about what I was talking about. And you want to claim that I'm not actually making
shut the fuck up.
Mr. S. Jones. Can I ask you a sincere question? May I?
Go ahead.
Have you been drinking?
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense.
Sure. I honestly, I'll tell you the truth. Honestly, if I'm not drinking, I do not care about any of this.
False. I've seen you many times. You must be a fucking chronic alcoholic.
Why do we keep inviting him up here? He never makes any sense.
You didn't make sense that long ago either, Whitney, but for some reason we still try with you.
Hey, I have a question. Whit, have you been drinking?
No.
What a perfect follow-up question. But no,
Sage, I didn't want to assume.
Real quick.
I figured he was either drunk or there's something wrong with him.
No. Just real quick. What is your position on Gaza?
Real quick, let's bring up one of the hottest topics. Real quick, he says. What are your what's your Gaza take? Jesus
I don't know.
Christ.
I haven't read anything about the dispute. I don't have any positions on it. I'm pretty agnostic.
Agnostic?
Yeah, I just haven't read anything about it. I wouldn't make any claims about the matter. Would you, Jones?
Wait, Jones isn't
gone.
Okay, who invited him back up? Which one of you motherfuckers?
I'm not even near my phone, dickheads. I'm trying to get an engine out of the back of my fucking car.
No, it's clear. It's clear that you don't have the
I'm not even near my phone. What are you talking about?
What the hell is
He's
Rax
talking about nothing right now.
What did y'all
We
kick
have
him?
we have a new guest.
fighting with an atheist?
Hello, Spanish guitar.
Well, I'm not just any atheist. I'm incredibly intelligent.
Oh, good Christ! Enough of that.
Oh my God, was that more
Because
Hispanic?
I'm on anyone's side.
Oh, wait, you can be on his side, but I'm gonna have to call you
That's
and him
fucking
racial
fine.
slurs.
I'm not on his side, and I'm not on your side.
Why? I'm always correct.
She's
let's
on
be
my
honest.
side.
Rasol, you didn't know Wit's an atheist now? She's been an atheist for like the last 4 months.
You have no morality. Who said?
Very funny, AG.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, that's just trivially true that Emmanuel doesn't have a coherent moral framework, so that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, why Nico's back up? Hold on.
Why are you
Welcome
calling him
back,
Why Nico?
Nico.
I don't know. That's what it looks like.
I think you're calling him like an Asian and Mexican racial slur at the same time.
Sounds like a question. Why, Nico? Why?
Fuck, just one of those times.
Or why not?
So, what were you saying? Why, Nico? Something about
He said-
everything has to be created or whatever.
Some gibberish or whatever.
Some
Energy cannot be created or destroyed.
Destroyed. Why does he always do that at the end? Or destroyed? It's like
I don't know. I think he's
be
coming on to me.
created or destroyed. Energy is eternal.
Hey, I want everybody to remember that the only reason we continued that for so long was because Emmanuel said, "No, Cage, let me talk to him."
Jim.
Bro, you kick people off in like 30 seconds, bro.
Yeah, that's about how long my patience lasts. I grant that.
Well, my patience is running out
this-
for. There he is. Go ahead.
So for atheism, when it says that like without a mind can purpose exist?
Got drunk
Nico,
too?
Hold on, this is funny.
Have you been drinking later? Have you been drinking today?
I can't do. Where's AR?
Nico,
No.
hold on. Nico, do we have minds?
Yes.
Okay, so minds exist.
The fuck up, Slurms, you fucking motor mouth.
Hold on, why Nico? So minds exist, right?
Like shit?
Yes.
Okay, so there's your answer, bro.
Okay, so without that mind, there will be like no purpose. Without the creator, how is the universe going to have the purpose in mind for like the earth to be made, for the sun to be made, for it to give you energy? And that's why atheism fails.
Amen.
Do we want to continue this, or do we
Really,
want to move on?
I'd rather ask Slurms about why he doesn't own a BMW.
Ask who?
I'd rather ask Slurms why you don't own a BMW, Bavarian Motor Work vehicle.
Oh yeah, that's what. But that BMW. Mainly because I'm poor.
What BMW were you thinking?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure until you spelled it out.
Sometimes I feel like you got an electric scooter.
Electric scooter.
Yeah, no.
I just
feel
want
like you.
somebody should beat this guy's ass. I'm not saying it's gonna be me, but
Yeah, you on your scooter.
Jay.
you know what?
offended
For
by
the record, there's nothing wrong with an electric scooter. But
I agree. You were the one who took offense to it. I was
I
complimenting.
take offense to you.
No, there's a lot of things wrong with an electric scooter. And I mean morally
You
wrong.
get one.
Well, when you're contrasting it to a very expensive, sports car.
Who let this fucking helicopter pilot speak?
Huh?
Huh? Sorry, I was referring to Zach. I remember one time Zach told me he was a helicopter mechanic, and I was like, nah, ain't no way, bro.
Slurms, do you just Uber everywhere? Do you jog everywhere? How do you get around?
He said he's broke.
I have a vehicle. I'm luckily
Kia?
I'm not too broke to have a vehicle.
The Kia or
Oh,
fucking
wait,
Subaru, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's
who
still
left?
pretty fucking
tiny
poor. So.
Oh,
okay,
Whitney.
I've been in a lifestyle transition for the past few years. All right.
Oh yeah.
That is a lifestyle transition. Is that fancy for broke?
That's what I said. That's what we say when we
A
go from one
lifestyle
class to another class.
To being fucking poor.
As a consequence of no more Slurms is poor. Ha, we get it.
If I get a fucking bitch shit all the time. Fuck you. Oh, you're a drunk bitch, Whitney. I can't make fun of you.
I didn't
poor.
call you a drunk
Oh,
bitch.
fuck you. You do.
No,
all
those
the
might be
time.
true.
She must
You
be
guys are my
drinking.
people. You are
I've
my
actually
people.
never called Wit a drunk bitch. That's something I've not
You
done.
called me a cunt once.
I'd do it again as well.
Well, he would only do that.
Get along. Just stop acting like you hate me. Fuck.
No, you're definitely all our favorite.
Who is?
Wit.
Yeah, speaking of driving,
He's Ubering.
this guy up here.
There's like a 70% chance.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Jim, are you tipsy?
No, not at all.
If money weren't a factor, Cage, I wouldn't get a BMW.
But it is a
that
factor.
wouldn't be mine.
It'd be a scooter. I'm telling you. You get a souped up scooter. I know it.
Souped up? No. See, an electric scooter was bad enough. A souped up scooter? Now you're fucking Hitler level. No, you're telling me you're spending money, and the first thing you fucking do is buy a souped up scooter? No, unalive immediately.
I don't know.
Calm
I would
down.
want for my regular commuter. I would want like a real cushiony kind of appliance
IKEA?
vehicle like anybody else. But I would want like a second. I would want like a lifestyle vehicle of some kind. If I
What's a lifestyle?
if I had fucking BMW money.
What's a
Something
lifestyle?
fun, something that's not daily, like I don't know.
Like a Mustang?
A
Mini
truck or a
coupe.
Jeep or a
Mini Cooper.
Sure, maybe a sports car or something.
I had a
Yeah.
fucking ticket the other day, and I had to
What
go
a
to court.
Ford F-150.
That is a lovely truck.
Cage, me too. I go on the 2nd.
You have an F-150?
Yeah, you want to see
Yeah.
it? I'll show
You
you.
would like a what
Force
are we
Whitney
talking?
drives a truck? I wouldn't have guessed that at all.
Yeah, she's built
Why?
Ford tough.
Wow. What the hell
That's
is that
fucking
supposed to
crazy.
mean?
I would never say those words.
I would. That's like probably my favorite truck. That's awesome.
Worms,
Oh my
as a
god, I'll
part
show
of-
you. I'll show you. I'll show you. Give me a
As a part of the LGBT community, I wanted to extend my gratitude for your people, but I also wanted to ask, what car company are we endorsing this month?
What company are we endorsing?
What car company, like what brand
Electric
are we
scooter.
endorsing?
Oh, I don't know. I have a little baby Ford pickup with. I have the Maverick.
You have the Ranger? The
The
Maverick?
Yeah,
What
Come
the
on,
fuck?
where the fuck is the picture?
it's adorable. It's
Took a
the
photo of your truck? That's so gay.
cutest.
What?
Oh, it's nice. Somebody calling
I
Wit
just
gay
got.
for a
Hold
change.
on, I just got
Happy
the
Pride.
vehicle. Like people.
You
take pictures
just
of
got
it.
an F-150?
Yeah.
What? Is it like a new F-150?
No, it's not.
Oh.
She's poor. She couldn't afford a brand new car.
Just kidding.
What a loser.
I would love to see it.
I'm trying to fucking find
Yeah,
it.
you know, my autism is. I'm getting so excited right now. I love cars.
Okay, I've
Oh
cleaned my
shit!
vehicle.
There it is. Fuck. There.
Yeah, you've been muted this
My
entire time.
main mode of
Whoa,
transportation.
make her big. Look at that.
It's a 2014 Ford F-150.
How the fuck do you know that?
I used to be a mechanic.
Oh shit! Yeah. It's limited.
That's
I wouldn't
awesome.
admit that. That's what we don't call those people limited anymore. We
Okay.
call them the disabled.
Congratulations, Wit.
Thanks.
What?
Whose
It's
F-150
Wits.
is that?
It's Wits.
It's mine.
It's not like you can read, right?
That's
Ahara?
yours? That's yours?
Yeah, that's mine.
It's Wits. Because she's
Yeah, it's
built
Wits.
Ford tough.
Yeah.
Stop saying that. It gives me the ick every time.
Okay.
I stole it from Jack. Jack would always say that to her, but now it makes
Well,
now
why
it
do you
checks
got an
out.
F-150? Why didn't you get like a...
Because I wanted it.
I don't know. Like,
The Dominican
What's
tongue.
I love that.
Yeah, what's the
Why wouldn't you
fascination
get
with
I don't know, something else?
You should have gotten you should have gotten a... Hold on. I'm gonna sound very Dominican when I say this. Why didn't you get a Honda Civic?
I don't want to.
Wait, why is that the default? Why is that the default vehicle, AR?
That like Honda Civic.
I wish I had a
Because
picture.
like I'm Dominican, so like that I think that's the best car. You know?
Slurms, I wish I had a
I
picture.
mean,
My dad
You
has
sound like a dad. That might have been true a few decades ago. They're not.
My
I wouldn't
dad
say they're
has
the
like
best
a.
now.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
go ahead.
what? I said my dad
No
has
way, you
a
guys are saying that. Like, hold on.
2024 King Ranch Ford.
How is this?
Nice.
Hold on. Is this, so you're saying what's the car? Slurm, sorry. What's the car today then that's like popular or whatever?
Okay, I'm not. I don't like just. I don't just stand like one manufacturer. It just depends on the current market, what the cars are looking like. Honda's had some little hiccups for the past few
You
years.
probably like Priuses, bro.
No,
Honda Civics is the
I'm
best
not
car.
a Prius fan. No, that is a nice car. I just wouldn't call it the best out there right now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, people have been, we're saying that from like the late '90s, and I feel like it was true then, but it's a lot. It's totally different now. Just the landscape of.
Okay, so what's the car now? What's the car to drive now, bro?
Oh, I don't have a.
But what's the car to drive
top. Now? I don't know. It depends on a lot of factors. On what you need it for.
No, I'm saying like the most durable, the most reliable car, bro. Like,
that's also false. Honda. Look, I mean, in the 1990s, Honda had the K series and the B series engine at fresh into engineering, and they didn't waste money.
Cruiser.
Who the fuck said Land
fucking
Cruiser?
Smokey Jesus is.
Oh my God! Jump off a fucking bridge. I'd rather do Mercedes in the 1980s than fucking Land Cruiser.
Those are complete junk.
What the hell?
On a technical
Who's
level.
talking about a Land Cruiser?
Smokey Jesus is very.
Look,
confused.
I mean, if you want, Honda's coming around.
That's insane, bro. That's insane.
Now that Toyota's released all those all their sportier camber to enthusiasts like the GR86 and the fucking AE86 and all that stuff.
AR, what car do you have?
Fucking Honda Civic, guarantee it. Watch this.
AR.
I need the fit.
Guarantee. Watch this.
It may or may not
AR,
be.
do you
It
drive
may or may not be.
AR, do you drive a 2003 Honda Civic?
Oh no, not 2003. No, hell no. Hell, that's too old.
Fuck. All right. It's too old.
That's too old.
Fuck, all right.
It's not. No. That's too old. Yeah, it's too old.
Oh, he's lagging bad. Holy shit.
I don't drive. No, I don't know.
Just the
That's too old. Yeah, I'm lagging terribly. Yeah.
Gorgon's
Wait a
over in the
minute.
comments.
Jim knows what he drives. Jim, what does AR drive?
I was too drunk to realize what it was.
Whatever.
You couldn't look at the fucking. You missed it. It was either a Hyundai or a Honda.
It was.
No, that's all I know.
It was a Honda of some kind. I think it was an Accord. I don't remember.
G.
Jay, you wanted up here for the longest time. Man. What
I was trying to talk about this whole conversation with Jones because
make me big. Wait, look at my cute little pickup. This is the cutest little pickup in the world.
Oh my
wow.
God! It cut it off.
Okay, yeah, Jay, what did you want?
Before this conversation with